Hey guys, it's Neri. Just to let you know, the episode is going to end pretty abruptly, but after 2 hours and 40 minutes, really what you missed was the last 5 minutes of the conversation. So just to give you a heads up, it's going to end right as we're talking about Game of Thrones trailers, but honestly, it's 5 minutes of what you guys missed. So it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a great episode. I really enjoy this episode a lot. I hope you guys do too. Giving you guys a heads up that it's going to end abruptly, so don't be like, what the fuck happened? We ran out of space on the memory card, so that's exactly what happened. So giving you guys a heads up. Thank you guys for the support, and again, and Rookie, thanks for the donation. So thank you guys very much. Here's the episode. Enjoy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker. With Neri Signs, you know the question is not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that. Geoff,
it was called Bibbidi Bobbidi Doorknob.
Stephanie.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite, and he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy.
Yes, I'm here.
Is also here.
Missy is also here. Girl has no last name.
Not anymore, am I right? Huh? And special correspondence with Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no. And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up Bro.
And we're recording. Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. I am Neri Signs. With me as usual is Stephanie.
Hello.
And, Missy.
Hi.
And today we have Vanessa.
Hello, friends.
From the Mommas and Merlot podcast. And Geoff is out on assignment, so he's not going to be able to join us right now, but he's doing some shit. So
we miss you.
We do miss you. We want to start off the show by saying happy birthday, Missy. Hi. Happy birthday, Missy. Happy birthday, Missy. Woo! That's my happy birthday, Missy.
I like it. You should record that.
I'm going to record it tomorrow at when we go out to eat.
Please, God, no.
I'm going to do the performance. Please. It's not going to be what you think. It's going to be without a shirt, so it's going to be way better.
A spoiler alert, jeez.
Better. And I dance like Elaine Bennett, just not as good.
Not as graceful?
Not as good. Anyways, so thank you for checking us out. Yeah, it's gonna be your birthday from the time we're recording this in a few hours.
I'm stuck. Sorry.
Help me, I'm stuck.
Help me, I'm poor.
So,
2
anyway.
hours and 12 minutes, it'll be my birthday.
And 2 hours and 12 minutes from the time of this recording.
Yes, it is.
Holy crap.
So, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Do you want to share how old you're going to be?
36.
36.
I almost said 37, and I had to stop myself. 36.
36. Welcome.
She wants a good tea. What? It's a good year. I like even numbers.
Even numbers are great.
I didn't realize that I liked even numbers until I was every night I put the volume at 20 on the TV.
Oh no, like it's a thing. Like I can't have like one piece of candy. I have to have either 2 or 4. I don't get one pen. I get like it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just have one orgasm. It has to be 2 or 4.
Oh hell yeah! The bar is set pretty high. I'm greedy.
You hear that?
Greedy.
You hear that, Tinder?
Fuck that. Nope.
No, that's exactly what we're saying. Fuck that. Absolutely. Literally what we're saying.
No thanks. Fine.
Anyways, so a lot's happened since the last recording. I know the last episode, Missy, Vanessa and I did a Mystery Woobro Theater for the cult classic, The Last Dragon, which I was the only one that enjoyed that movie during that viewing.
You finally enjoyed it the second time.
You finally you finally have a loss on your record.
That. But for that movie, I'll take that all day. I'm like, all right, you didn't like, hey, that's...
But you did tell me that it bothered you that you were at a 98% success rate now.
Yeah, it does.
So imagine being on the losing side all the time. That's my life. You never like anything I ever recommend.
That's not true.
What did you like?
I like the last third of
That's
Love
like giving
Simon.
me 1/3 of a credit.
I loved that.
Yeah,
but that
1/3 of
loved,
a point.
I love that last third of the movie.
Cool. So I got 25% for
and
that.
then
33.
there was another movie.
Did I give you more?
There was another movie, right?
Well, Life Was a Party. We agreed that it was like it was a fat girl version of a movie. Like it tried really hard, it had a great personality, but you're not gonna fuck it.
Yeah, no. At all.
Oh, that makes
No.
me so
That's not
sad.
true because fat girls are amazing in bed.
And they make breakfast the next day.
And you see, she's quoting my own jokes from 10 years ago.
I pay attention.
From 10 years ago.
I paid attention at some point.
So then, but no, that movie was awful. But there was another movie that you recommended. I was like, yeah, it was the one with what's her name? With Anna. Am I thinking Kendrick? The one with she solves a crime and
The Accountant?
no.
No, with
A
Blair.
Simple Favor?
Yeah.
A simple,
Oh, that's a good one.
A Simple Favor, not a Simple Flavor. A Simple Flavor is the cookie version.
It's the Baskin Robbins
Yeah.
version
I
of
saw
the-
that with my BFF Vanessa.
Yeah,
we
so
did.
that
We had a
was
movie date.
that was one. You have that one.
But
in the
you
week
did
column?
say that you didn't know,
Stephanie
like the
Vanessa.
movie
Getting
didn't.
since 2001.
I had critiques about it. It's not
The
a
movie
perfect
didn't
movie.
know what it wanted to be
no,
and
it's
all of that. It had an
absolutely-
identity crisis,
did.
according to you.
Guys, if
And
you
that's
want
a
to drink
fact,
with us,
but-
Pop it Crush.
But that doesn't mean that I didn't like the movie. It doesn't mean it's not a win. It's not a. I can have.
You
a
know what you're
critique.
giving me right now? You're not ugly. You're just not pretty. That's what you're saying in this critique.
If you expect me to say that a movie is perfect, then I'm
Braveheart is perfect.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's not a possibility. I'm saying that even movies like The Last Dragon, I acknowledge that it had flaws in that movie, and I don't. It's not perfect. So, anyways, but
Steph and I don't need to be here.
I agree. So
Wow.
Well, you guys talking off mic, playing video games and playing word games.
Playing video games? We weren't on the mic. We weren't recording when we were playing video games.
When we were doing the unboxing.
We weren't a part of it.
Yes, that's the whole fucking point
You
that I'm
guys-
making.
You know the Homer Simpson gif? Yeah.
Jeez.
That's my insides right now.
Anyways, so thank you for checking us out. But a lot's happened. The Oscars happened, right? We didn't talk about the Oscars. Did you guys like the Oscars?
I liked
I
it.
didn't
I
watch
think it would be better if I liked the fact that there wasn't any host.
Yeah.
I thought it flowed a lot better and kept things fresh. But if they are going to do a host, then I nominate Tina Fey, Maya Rudolph, and Amy Poehler.
Yes.
Because that fucking opening segment was
pretty great.
gold.
They are great at opening. They're great. I mean, they've hosted the Golden Girls before, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Not
Maya Rudolph, no.
Maya Rudolph
but
wasn't there,
Amy-
but
yeah.
But let's be real. We're not watching for Maya Rudolph. We're going to be watching for Tina Fey. And
Maya Rudolph is awesome.
she is awesome, but that of those three,
Yeah.
the two that you're focusing on is Tina Fey and Amy.
I focused on all three of them.
Get the fuck out of my face! Get the fuck out.
I did.
She's the Robin
Girl
to
power.
that. She's the Robin to you got.
No, she does not have baby hands. I finally saw Teen Titans go to the
Right.
movies.
There you go.
I love that movie.
Surprised I didn't get nominated for best animated movie, even though I would have lost because the right one won.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Who won?
Spider-Man.
Into the
Spider-Man Into the
Oh,
Spider-Verse.
yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes,
I have not
I
seen
dragged her to it.
He didn't
Oh, that's
drag
right,
me
you
to
did.
it. I voluntarily went.
That's
And it
one
was
of
So
the
he
fun.
dragged you to it.
Well, I guess I technically dragged him to Mary Poppins Returns.
did.
So I owed him.
I only say that you dragged me to that movie because I ended up not liking it. But I wanted to go see that movie.
Yes, I
And
did
then
leave
when
it up
was-
to you.
And then when it was awful, I was like, no, I got dragged.
I don't think
Actually,
it was awful.
you literally the movie started and Limonel got like 2 words out of his mouth and you fake stormed out and I
Wow.
was like, already?
But that was just a funny thing to do at that moment. Little did I know that was a fucking actually gonna happen.
You should have just kept going.
That was my
I did at one point. He was sounding so frustrated that I was like, "Do you want to go? Like, I've seen this. I'm gonna buy it. I don't need to stay it and watch it again." But
And I was like, no, maybe
He
it's gonna
stuck
be,
through it.
I was like, maybe it's gonna be like Love Simon. And it's gonna, and it did it. It wasn't. It was
well,
garbage.
good news.
Hot garbage.
Tomorrow to be available in the family share because I
God.
pre-ordered
Yay!
it.
Oh, I
Good
can
news.
show
You're
the
gonna be
kids.
kicked out tomorrow. That's congratulations.
Maybe I'll be able to buy something more than fucking strong female lead.
You would never buy anything. That's
I
not
would.
strong. What
I've
are you
tried
gonna
to buy a bunch of movies.
such as Thelma Louise.
No. I mean, once, but at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are a bunch of movies that I've wanted to buy that I can't.
All strong female leads.
No, I can't name them all because there's
'Cause you
literally
but you
almost
can't name anyone.
there's over
Name me another-
4,000
name me one.
movies. I don't know. I stopped trying like 6 months ago. I stopped trying.
There's so many movies I've tried to buy. Name me one.
I can't do it.
I stopped trying. There's over 2,000 movies in between the 5 of us.
Yeah, probably. Anyways,
No,
so
I did the math.
the Oscars.
How bored were you?
The one that ended up winning was
Green Book.
Green Book. Did
Which
you guys like
people-
Green Book?
I loved Green Book.
Was it on your top 10?
Yeah, it was my number 4, I think, or number something. It was in my top 5.
Right. Did you?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Samesies.
Yeah, I liked that movie a lot. I thought it was.
I know there was a lot of like controversy behind it, but
What was the controversy?
Is that like the Driving Miss Daisy, but with men?
yeah.
Okay.
It
It's
was
driving
that it
Mr. Daisy, yo.
that it was like the white man's version of a black man's story, and you know.
That's what this guy was saying, right?
Yeah, that's what Spike Lee. Spike Lee said that every time there's somebody driving, he loses.
No, but he was like that
no,
was a
he
joke.
was- no.
That was a joke he made, but he was legitimately.
No, he was legitimately upset. I think he was just upset because he didn't. I think he was upset about that, but I also think he was more upset that he was. I think he was just being a spoiled brat. You know what I mean? Like I think he just was pissed he didn't win. But
he does have a point, though.
He does have a point.
Like all the Oscar-winning movies about the African American community, and this is a blanket statement, so I'm fully prepared to be wrong. But it's like slavery and or the white savior,
right,
of the black man.
I didn't take this as like a white savior movie but I am also not black, so I mean I don't.
What?
I know, right? It's shocking. So I mean, I didn't necessarily take it that way. I thought that the acting in that movie was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It was.
I haven't
it was
seen the
really
movie.
great. I really liked it. So
I look forward to having somebody else buy it and so I can watch it.
well. I like
Dave will get it.
Of the 8, I was proud of myself this year because of the 8 movies nominated for Best Picture. I had seen 5 of them already.
High five.
I think that's like the most I've ever really seen.
Oh, there was
Nobody
one year I
just-
forced myself to see all of them.
Yeah, the year that you saw The Artist.
No, yeah, it was a bad year because I saw The Artist and the Wild Thing? What was it? That one with that little girl?
Beast of the Southern Wild.
Beast of the Southern
I
Wild.
liked Beast
That
of the
movie was
Southern
so
Wild.
much hot garbage. And I was watching the movie. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And it was one of the last movies that I had to watch all the nominations. And I was like, fucking just plow through, man. Just fucking plow through.
Yeah.
And it was
You'll
hot
get there.
garbage.
The ones that I didn't get to see, I wanted to see though, because like I didn't get to see Black Klansman, and I wanted to see that.
Did
I
you
want
see
to
The
see Black
Wife?
Klansman.
I
want
didn't see The Wife, but
It's
that
on
was
sale for-
nominated for Best Picture. She
Oh.
was nominated for Best
For
Actress.
Best Actress.
But, I didn't see The Favorite.
That's the one I want to watch. I started watching it, and it was very British. And then I was like, oh.
Fine. The one that I liked the least of the Best Picture nominated films that I saw was Vice. I didn't think Vice has really good acting. I'm not a Christian Bale fan, but
isn't that what you just said about Green Book? The only thing you said about Green Book was how great the acting was.
right?
But so Vice had phenomenal
Vice
acting.
was weird in like editing, and it was.
It got nominated for editing.
I know, but it was strange. Like I didn't get it. I mean, I
It's
got
too-
like
it's
the
too artsy?
overall-
It's too artsy?
No, because I get artsy stuff, but I got
No,
like,
but you get it, but you don't like it.
I just didn't like it. It was the pacing was weird. I don't think the writing was that great, and I also think that like the unsung hero of that movie is actually Steve Carell. Like I know that Sam Rockwell he won again this year, but it's because he plays W and he's good as W. But Steve Carell plays Donald Rumsfeld in that movie. Totally like out of nowhere, wasn't expecting it, and he was fucking great. But anyway, Vice was my least favorite of all the ones I saw.
I liked first.
It wasn't good, or you just didn't?
And I didn't. But First Man wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
I believe it was.
I don't think it was.
Not for Best Picture.
Maybe.
I'm
Not for
looking
Best
it up.
Picture. It was nominated for like production design.
So the Best
The
Picture
table needs a
nominees
Google
was
sticker.
Green Book, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite. Hold on.
Why are you taking it off?
I had an air bubble.
Sorry. Hold on.
It's not gonna stick good now.
Start again. I'm sorry, Mizzy.
Hold on. I'm looking up Best Picture. So Best Picture nominations were Green Book, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
So Roma was the other one I didn't see.
Roma's the Netflix one, yeah.
Yes, it is but it's a Netflix one and it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
And this guy, which now created a new controversy because apparently
Oh yeah.
Steven Spielberg, some fucking
What a
hack
crybaby.
there, some fucking
You said what type of get off my lawn old man shit is
old
that?
type of man shit is that. He's part of the committee, the Academy Committee, or whatever the fuck
The
it's
Academy,
called,
yeah.
the Illuminati, whatever the fuck. And there it is. And he is apparently, I don't know if this has already happened because this news came out a week ago, so I don't know if it's happened since. I haven't followed up, but apparently he's going to bring up the fact that he's gonna ask for future movies not to.
Jesus.
What happened?
I knocked over my wine.
I turned my back for 30 seconds.
Recording it. All right, so we're back. Sorry, little minor technical difficulty.
I made a whoopsie.
So, anyways,
Party foul.
so I forgot where we were. Where were you?
We're talking about the Oscars and
I know the Oscars, but what?
Steven Spielberg
Oh, that's right. Yeah, fucking old man
being
Netflix.
super muerto.
He wanted to put up for I guess conversation or vote.
Streaming films
He doesn't want streaming services, movies that came out in streaming services
to be considered.
for an Oscar.
He's saying that it's like direct to home video. It's kind of the same thing, right?
Which-
Yeah.
yeah, that's his argument.
I mean,
That's his
And
argument.
then
I don't think
there's-
it's all that wrong.
Is there a rule that direct-to-home video is not allowed?
I don't know
I feel
the
like
rule.
Geoff said that, but I don't know that that's. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so direct to video is what, like not released in the theaters?
Correct.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then you see, I have a friend of mine who was talking about. He was like, "Oh, then they should be nominated for Emmys, not Oscars." And I don't know if there's a rule
But
because
Netflix isn't really television anymore. It's
What-
both mediums.
well, that's what I'm saying. I was like, you got to move with the times, man. That's the way.
Yes.
I mean, these are. It's not like, made for TV movies were like, oh, because you don't have the budget for a major that a
Right.
major studio does. But that's not the case anymore.
No, not anymore.
And you should get actors who are like B actors or like.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen used to have a contract with NBC for TV movies.
well, but that's
Did
also
she?
that's
Yeah,
also
I watched all of them.
that's also I mean, by that respect, then if you're gonna I don't feel this way, but if you're gonna play fair and say that Netflix films shouldn't be considered for Oscars, then their TV shows shouldn't be considered for Emmys, and their TV shows are excellent.
Right.
Most of their TV shows, the ones that I've seen, are fantastic. I know they have like crummy ones that no one cares about, but
Like Fuller House.
right. But I mean,
What a disappointment. What a lousy first date that
but like
was. What an Olive Garden first date.
No, I thought we said bad.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
So I mean I think that's stupid. I mean, you
So
have to,
do they not get nominated
Oh,
for
100%.
for Golden Globes or whatever?
They
the fuck?
100% do. Handmaid's Tale. Well, Handmaid's Tale's on Hulu, but they won Best Drama Series last year. Orange is the New Black won a few years back. They're nominated all the time.
Yeah. I just don't get why. Again, if there's a rule for that says that a movie has to be released in a movie theater, then there has to be a number, right? Because there are movies that are
Super limited runs, right.
release or whatever. So there has to be a number. And whatever that number is, I'm sure Netflix can meet it and be like.
I'm sure, but I think also the whole. I've never seen, and typically speaking, direct-to-video movies, for the most part, and I'm making a generalization. I'm sure there are some that are fantastic, but for the most part, the direct-to-TV movies have, direct-to-home video or whatever, have the reputation of being bad movies.
Absolutely.
And Netflix movies have had that reputation in the past, but they're stepping up their game, clearly.
I think, but I think there's good and bad of all of them. HBO has made some amazing movies that were.
But they get
made
nominated
for
But they get
HBO.
nominated for Emmys.
But that's what I'm saying. But those movies are not, as far as they have the Paterno movie that came out. They had Al Pacino, so they've had again. But what you gotta the parameters change.
Right. I agree.
Technology changes, and I think unless there's an actual rule that says that the movie must be released in a movie theater, and it has to give an exact number. That's what I'm saying. Like Vanessa's trying to look it up now,
She is looking it up,
but I guess unless you have that number, unless they have that written somewhere prior to Netflix coming out, because now they're just changing the rules.
Because Roma was nominated,
right?
And
Roma.
No, it's Roma.
I said Romo. I was like, no.
Roma. That's Tony.
That's a former quarterback.
No.
That's a Hallmark movie.
No. But Roma was nominated, and he won for Best Director, and it won Best Foreign Film. So it's. I think I agree with you. I think that like the medium is changing. People are less willing to leave their house these days. Movie theaters have gotten way expensive. I mean, we went to the movie theaters yesterday, and just in food we spent $50. So that's not including the $30 we had on. So it's $80 for 3 of us to go to the movies these days. So.
Does Steven Spielberg have that kind of juice where you think he'd actually get it done?
He's Spielberg. I mean.
Okay, it says.
But he's ruining the party.
Sorry. It's the final deadline, whatever. It says only feature length over 40-minute narrative, live action, animation, or documentaries are considered for these categories. The general entry categories include the awards for acting, cinematography, costume design, directing, film editing, makeup and hairstyling, music, best picture, production design, sound editing, sound mixing, visual effects, and writing. It says, however, the following award categories have additional or separate submission requirements: animated feature film, documentary feature, documentary short, foreign language film, music, short film, animated live action, and that's it. There's no restriction on release.
The release.
I mean, they have to be released between January 1st and December 31st of that year.
Right.
And then there's like things that you have to submit, like the title, the production, all that stuff to the Academy to be qualified for a nomination. But it doesn't say anything about where the film is released.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, because how can I get like there's like the foreign films that they're foreign films, like they don't really air here, but they're still released. They're still released, and they still qualify for the foreign film.
The Academy is the Academy for Motion Picture and Sciences.
It's Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. It
doesn't say Motion Picture Theatrical Release Sciences. There's no fucking.
There's a lot of British.
He's just being a crotchety old man.
A lot of British films get nominated. The Favorite is technically a British film. It's not an American film. If it's not produced by American productions, if it's not directed by an American director, it's a British film, and we get British films and British actors all the time like it's normal. So people were up in arms that Roma was nominated for both Best Foreign Film.
I think it's just because it's the first time it happened.
I agree.
The first time the Netflix movie.
But that's what I'm saying. The first time that a Netflix movie was up for the award of the night, because it's the last one that they do, and it's like the most prestigious one that they give out, which is basically movie of the year.
Basically, yeah.
So I get why he's upset, but
I don't get why he's upset. I don't get why he's upset.
Because it's rocking his boat for all these, however many years he's been,
Yeah, but he hasn't even directed a film in God knows how long.
But directed Ready Player One last year.
Okay, and did he think that was gonna fucking get nominated for an Oscar?
But it still works all the time. It doesn't.
I'm just saying for his, it doesn't hurt his. You know what I mean? Like, had he made Saving Private Ryan last year, does he really think Roma would have been giving him competition? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
like.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I understand
he's just a little bit butthurt. And he doesn't want, and it's just opening another avenue for more competition, is what it is, and that's why he's upset. He's being a crotchety old man.
Yeah. He doesn't want to change. I mean, there have been rumors for years also that there is talk about a service where you pay like $30 a month and you'll get like theatrically released films to your TV.
So I'm looking on IMDb.
So Netflix.
And before Ready Player One, he
BFG, I want to say,
he directed The Post and it was nominated last year.
That movie was the shit. That movie was fucking amazing.
Before that, he directed the BFG. What is
the Big Friendly Giant?
Okay,
it's a kid.
It's a kids movie.
I'm talking into my wine glass.
We do that all the time.
It's a kids movie.
Before that, it was Bridge of Spies,
which was really good.
He took and 3 years before that, it was Lincoln. So pretty much, I mean, since
Bridge of Spies is great.
Mm-hmm. Since Lincoln, he's been nominated. I'm guessing consistently. I don't think The Adventures of Tintin was nominated.
I think it was nominated for like animated feature, but I don't
War
think it was nominated for Best Picture.
Horse, not Hose. Horse.
War Horse was nominated.
A Timeless Call. Well, that's a short. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Well, we can't win them all, can we?
But I don't know. Honestly, I could understand the argument if it was like somebody that was just starting in the business and had like an idea of what, like, the road to lead to success.
Right.
But you're Spielberg.
But even at that, I disagree, because I feel like Netflix and the streaming services would probably be more willing to give
a first timer
direct.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that I could understand his perspective if he was just starting out and he wasn't Steven Spielberg.
Right. I see what you're
But
saying.
you're Steven Spielberg. Like, you could literally direct TV movies for the rest of your life.
Like, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't have to give shit.
He could stop working for all he cares, and it's fine. So what's with the itchy butt, old man?
It's an itchy butt. It's just an itchy butt.
I saw a great tweet about this, a great reply about this, that said, we need to stop the people who don't go to the movie who haven't been to the movie theater, to a general movie theater, need to stop telling us people what we can watch at a movie theater. Like, like this whole thing will change the landscape of, like, dude, you don't fucking, you're not one of us. You're not one of fucking. Don't make it a thing of don't make it a thing of like, oh, you're gonna go and it's only movies only the movies I think are worthy are gonna be nominated. Like, that's fucking, like, I already have a bad taste in my mouth with the Oscars that they don't fucking nominate popular movies.
I feel like this is going to be something that only the old white dudes are going to get behind, and unfortunately, they have all the power in Hollywood. But you're absolutely correct. Like, the landscape is changing. People don't want to leave their houses. I read 85 memes a day about not leaving your house and staying home. Like, it's
because my favorite is people keep telling me go big or go home, but they're like underestimating how much I'm willing to stay home.
I share that meme.
Every time I see it makes me think
outside. If outside was so great, how come inside is even better? Like, I don't. I'm paraphrasing Sheldon Cooper here.
Pants. Like,
I mean,
or wear a bra.
You don't even have to go out for food anymore. You can literally run out of groceries and you'd still survive.
An Instacart, all these things on your phone. You don't even have to go to the computer. Just pick up your phone.
For us to stay home, like, on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I only ever go to the movies on Tuesdays because it's $5.
Right.
And the movies haven't been $5 since I was in the 5th grade.
Right.
So shut the fuck up.
They're charging $30 for just the ticket. That doesn't include anything else.
What? The iPic movies?
Yeah, iPic is. I mean, granted,
don't you need like a passport to get to that theater though?
It's in North Miami Beach. Oh. It's in North Miami Beach. Or like the CMX one in Brickell City Center, or like those that are like, it's $30 just to sit. It's $30 just for your ass to be in a chair. Like, that's not including.
Does the chair heat up though? Because that's really nice.
It vibrates, doesn't it? Isn't it the one that vibrate?
What's the movie theater that
don't you need
beds?
the privacy of your chair just gonna vibrate?
Like, it moves. It's the whole thing.
Oh, I thought it was a different vibration.
I would fall asleep. I'm gonna pay $30 to go fall asleep somewhere.
The reclining ones here down the street.
Nary all the time.
Not all the time.
We went to.
Not all the time. You gotta understand.
Sorry, every time we go see a kids movie.
That's not true. That's not true. It's been twice that she gets on me. I don't understand. I was just tired that day. Like, it's one of those things. And first of all, a lot of these times when we go to see these kid movies
nap time.
with our kids, it is actually my nap time. We're gonna go at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh my god, I'm usually napping at this time. And then you put me in a comfortable situation with air conditioning, and you recline the seats, and I'm like, and it's dark, and I'm like, nah, fuck this, man. I'm good. I'm out. Like,
I'm here. I get attendance
but
points.
I fight it. I'm like,
How long do you fight it? Like 10 minutes?
No, it's only happened twice, and it's happened for the first one was for the movie you just brought up, Go Teen Titans Go.
Oh, Teen Titans Go.
You fell asleep in Teen Titans Go?
Yeah, but it's not about the quality of the movie. You don't understand.
It's just my nap time.
It's just my fucking nap time.
You fell asleep during Boss Baby.
Oh, Boss
That's
Baby.
right.
And you Boss Baby sucks.
And you fell asleep.
That's true.
And you fell asleep during.
I love Boss Baby.
How to Train Your Dragon 3. That was the most recent one.
That's correct.
And the Lego Movie.
No, I didn't fall asleep in the Lego
'cause
movie.
they made you take Oliver to the
God, I
bathroom.
wish I would have fallen asleep in the fucking Lego movie.
It was super cute.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
You're a hater.
I liked
Yes,
it better than
I'm
the
agreeing
first
with you.
one.
I hate that movie. Yeah, I'm totally agreeing with you.
It's a stupid movie.
It's a dumb movie. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
awesome.
it was my idea to go watch it, and
The
I
Lego
thought
movie?
the first one and the second one,
Yeah.
and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I fall asleep.
We didn't record because I went to watch that movie and I napped.
Yeah. And I
Zero
told her,
regret.
I liked it.
Zero
I
regrets.
liked it better than the first one.
Yeah, the first one wasn't good either. I do agree that the second one is better than the first one, but the first one was. I mean, it's not saying
It's awesomer.
diarrhea and shit. I mean, what are you gonna do? But
I got real.
But to me, it's not a matter of when I fell asleep. The 3 times that I've fallen asleep in the theater, yes, it happened to be kids movies, but they happened to be just because they were fucking.
My mom
during
fell
nap
asleep
time.
like 18 times during
Avengers.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If she had no idea what was going on, so it was just easier.
The
for her to fall
trauma.
asleep.
The trauma came me up for days.
Oh yeah, no, my brother and I laughed at her a bunch, and then she got mad at us.
But I legitimately, it has nothing to do with the quality of the movie. I end up liking the movies that. You know what movie I started falling asleep to?
Mary Poppins Returns.
God, I wish. It's never the movies that I dislike. It's always the movies that I do like, but it just happens to be at nap time. But the movie I did start to fall asleep in is Fury-Road. The
Mad Max
Mad
movie.
Max movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it. It
Yeah.
looks like fun.
But here's the thing.
I don't understand why it's called Mad Max because he's
Yeah.
not the main character.
You're right. You're right. That's why it's called Fury Road because the whole thing. But
It should be called Furiosa.
it
Fury Road.
should because she's the shit. But my whole point is that movie. If you watch that movie, it's
Stupid-ass
super
movie.
loud, super loud. There's a
And you
lot.
still fell
There's
asleep?
a lot of shit happening, like fucking like cars and fire, and blow torches and explosions, and I'm like, and I was fucking fighting it. I was like, get up, fucking stand.
squats.
Like I'm like, oh my god, it was, yeah. But it
Do I
was-
need to watch the first one to watch the second one?
No, I didn't watch.
Yeah.
No,
I just watch
Mad
whatever
Max?
you want.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
no, Mad Max. No,
The
I
Legos?
I thought she was talking about Legos.
That was 10 minutes ago, babe. Welcome back.
welcome back.
Pay attention.
I know. She was on her phone. It was for work. Okay.
I
But
was looking at Instagram.
fucking
He didn't.
worse.
He never believed you
I
though.
never believed
that was
him.
100%
I
sarcasm.
understand, but he never believes it when it's actually work. So what does it matter?
Because it's never worked.
I love How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yeah.
Did he hug him like a human?
He did, and I cried like an asshole like 4 times.
Well,
Speaking of crying on a movie, hold on. Quick question. This would be
Did he
for
say
you,
crying
Stephanie.
on a movie?
Crying on a movie.
but it
I
sounded.
heard frying on a movie.
So speaking of crying at a
Okay.
movie,
Yes, Neri.
my friend on a ship last week was telling me that she watched for the first time Jersey Girl and cried, and I
because
couldn't.
it was terrible.
I could. I made the same semi joke. I was like, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But I do legitimately remember liking that movie. I watched that movie and I liked it.
I haven't seen it in years, but I liked it.
I haven't
know that
seen
I've
the
ever
movie
seen it.
since it came out.
so what's your question?
My question is to Stephanie, to someone who remembers that movie: is that movie cry worthy?
I mean,
Because I
doesn't cry.
no. But I'm not. I didn't notice the question. I didn't say, Stephanie, did you cry at this movie? I said, is it cry worthy?
for me, it is not cry worthy. However,
Because she
I
doesn't
do
cry.
understand how. I mean, has everybody seen this? Am I going to ruin anything for anybody?
I mean,
been
it's like
15
It's been 20
so
years.
It's fine.
Well, I get it because like the mom dies, and
That's exactly what she said.
Right.
She's like, the mom died, and I was like,
You
but it
were the
was the
British
mom.
person?
Yeah.
Every Disney
She goes.
movie
I was
ever.
like, but yeah, she is, and I was like, yeah, but the
haven't
mom
seen
happened to be Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, we just
Shank.
you wouldn't cry if Jennifer Lopez died?
Not 15 years ago when everybody was tired of her and Ben Affleck. What was their
Geely.
name?
Geely.
No, what was their name? Bennifer, right.
They're the
I was
first
trying to
Bennifer.
explain to her. She's like, I don't understand. I go, look, you gotta understand. You just saw this movie. She just saw it last week, and I was like, you gotta understand. When this movie, I saw this movie when it first came out, and when it first came out, people were tired of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. They had the first
They really did because they were like disgusting.
They had the first celebrity name
They did.
together, and then she's like, "Really? I thought it was." And I go, "Whoever
Brad
you're about
Pitt
to say."
and
That's what
Jennifer
she said. I go,
Aniston?
"Whoever you're
No.
about to say, I'm telling you right now,
was
it was
Bennifer.
Ben
And
Affleck."
100% correct.
And I said, people were so tired of them together that Geely came out and it fucking
But didn't Geely come
was
out?
also terrible.
Yeah. But I don't even think Gigi was that bad, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it was great. I'm saying
But
when I
didn't
saw that
Gigi
movie,
come
I
out
expected
before?
a dumpster fire. I'm like, this is just a regular fire, guys. Why are we fucking? I mean, there's smoke, but there's
But
not.
Kevin Smith even said that he went back and recut.
That's exactly what I was-
Jersey Girl, because Geely did so bad.
That's-
and people were so against.
That's exactly what I told her. I had to tell her. I'm like, look. So I was giving her like a history. She was like 25, so I had to give her like a history lesson of like, this is what happened. When and she was like, but how can people hate Jennifer Lopez? I go, you're saying that now. But you don't understand. People really hated.
In the early 2000s.
In the early 2000s, it was a really bad. I'm like, literally, Kevin Smith went back and re-edited the movie to put her in only. She was only like in 10 minutes of the movie.
To only put her like essentials to the storyline scene.
Jersey Girl came out after Geely. And Geely was, I think the Bennifer thing had already taken off by the time Geely had
they were
come
casting
out.
that movie on purpose.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
No, they hooked up on the set.
I don't think so.
100%. Okay,
I don't think
hand
so.
on fire. I remember
You
this.
said
Where'd
hand
you
on fire
Google?
to a lot of things, and you've been wrong before. I'm
Google.
just saying.
Just
No,
Google.
I promise you,
Why don't you just Google it?
because I have a memory, and I remember being 20 years old and
have a
obsessed with these two.
Yes, but you also had a memory, and you were obsessed with Britney Spears, and you didn't remember sprinkle cheese. So let's not.
You're an asshole. Really? That's not even about her. That's like her.
That's like a super like inside shit.
But she literally was correcting me and going, "No, you're wrong." She was going in, and she was like, and she told me exactly what I was like. Oh, I remember some
And then
documentary. I
this
remember
is
some
what-
documentary. And what did you say?
I own it, so I can't be wrong. And then I pulled it up and I started watching it, and I was wrong. And then he goes,
own it, so I
"What did
can't
it say?" And I go, "It's broken. It's not working anymore."
That's what he did to me. That's what he did to
It's
me
broken.
yesterday.
It's broken.
We went to a basketball game yesterday.
Basketball show.
We went to a basketball show.
My daughter
According to
calls it.
Sophie,
My
it's a
daughter, are we going to a
basketball
basketball show? I'm like,
Oh, she's so cute.
In her defense, she did get to see like a Harlem Globetrotters type it's hard. Speaking is hard. Type show at her school, so it was like a basketball show. But so we were like walking, and we had parked somewhere. It was like $20, and then there was another like parking lot a block closer to the stadium. And he's like, "Oh, I bet you it's like $25." I'm like, "No, it's gonna be like $30."
because look, wait, the first parking lot that we saw was like 3 blocks away from the
It was
stadium.
$10.
It was $10.
You mean the
It was,
arena?
no, it was $15.
Whatever.
And then on a
Tomato.
a half a block to a block away, she goes, "No, park close." I'm like, "Really? Half a block?
It
Really?"
was hot as balls.
And I was like, "All right." And so I'm going, and it was $20. So I jumped $5. So we go and we park in that one. We park, we get out, we're walking towards the next one, which is another half a block. It's the same distance from the $15 to $20 one. Same distance. I go, "Man, we should have parked here for $5 more, for $25. Not, you know what I mean? It's even closer." And she goes, "Oh, this is gonna be $30." And I go,
Because
"How?"
it was a block away from the arena.
I was like, "But it's the same distance from 15 to 20 than it is from 20 to this
Yes,
one."
doesn't
And she
matter.
goes, "That's $30." I go, "There's no sign, right? We're
The
looking
guy
for a
didn't
sign."
have a sign. Because all of the lots up until that one, there was a man.
is it again?
It's empty. Just put it on the floor. There was a man with a little cardboard sign, and that had the price of the parking lot. So it started at 10, then 15, and then we parked in the 21. And then he was like, "No, the next one's 25," because they were going by fives. And I go, "No, that one's 30." And then go ahead, finish the
And so I
story.
asked the guy, "Hey, how much is it?" And then he said something in Spanish I don't understand because fucking
Dijo
immigrants don't
30.
even don't even speak English. And I'm like, "All right, I guess I don't know what that means." And then she goes, "How much did he say?" I'm like, "I don't know." He was fucking. Who could understand these immigrants really? And I was like, he said some jibby jabby language.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, 30 means 30.
Right.
Well,
And I turned around and I go, "I know what you're trying to say, honey. You're just trying to say that I was right." And then what did you do?
I looked at it and I go, "Whatever."
well, the truth is that there's a version of
Even
that.
when you're not there, we make fun of you.
So anyway,
Wait, I wasn't done.
go ahead.
So I told him that it was broken, and then he happened. I think you heard it that
Oh, I
him
know, I
saying
heard
sprinkled cheese, and he flipped out, and I was like, "I'm going
I didn't
through
flip
a,
out. I was just like,
in celebration," and then I was like, "I'm going through a tunnel." Bye. But I do
this was
remember.
we were next to each other when this happened.
Yeah.
So it's not like, but I was like, "Okay."
You think I bring logic into trying to get out of these things? Like, I'm gonna try and
Just
swim
take
against
the
the
L.
current.
Just take the L,
I'm gonna
man.
go
Go
down with the ship. I'm going down with the ship. Fuck that. But I do remember distinctively, I'm I'm like 99% confident that by the time Gigli actually was released, it had already been
You're
like
right.
6
They did meet on
months.
the set of Gigli.
Thank you. 6 months that they had been together. She was married at the time,
Well,
and
that's nothing new.
but she was married at
For
the time,
J-Lo.
and then because
Taylor
she,
gets married like every 10 years.
but she hooked up.
Speaking of which, congratulations! Go ahead.
She
Is that Christy's friend that made the Thanos joke?
I don't know.
I think it is.
he posted it.
I didn't
Neri
post it.
posted it.
No.
No, I shared it in the group chat,
But go
but
ahead.
from
You were
Mama's,
saying.
and I think it's one of Christy's friends.
They had already been together, and they had already started like feeding the paparazzi monster. So Gigli had no chance. I mean, it was a shit movie. I may or may not have seen it in theaters.
I'm sure you
I
did.
don't want to confirm.
I remember watching that movie. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I remember watching that movie going, like, I don't feel like this is bad. Why is everybody
I
shitting
don't
on
think
this?
it's a bad movie. I just think that people, by the time that it was released, they were already fucking over it because they were really, really extra about
They were
their
extra,
thing.
and it was like a really
So
short
Gigli came out
time
first,
span.
right?
Gigli came out first, and the next
Yeah, Jersey
year,
Girl-
Jersey
was
Girl
after.
came after. And sorry, but
He was in her video too.
and no, but that was
With the
after.
slick back hair.
But that was after because she
No,
was
it wasn't.
married.
I just looked at it.
She was married. No, let me get to what I'm trying to say. She was married when she went on the Fuck,
Today,
bro.
Junior.
She was married. She was married when she went on set. They started liking each other. Supposedly, allegedly, she got separated and filed for divorce, and then they hooked up. But you know,
Yeah, in
Sure
July. So this is all happening in 2002. So go back with me, guys. July they meet
take
in
a trip.
early
don't be
2000.
fooled by the rocks.
Yeah. So in 2002, early 2002, they meet on the set of Gigli, and by July they're already separated because they were spotted kissing publicly at her birthday bash. And then in November of that same year is when Jenny from the Block dropped. Later in July 2003, the couple. So the following year, so a year later, Gigli comes out
And they were supposed to get married that year, and then he
Right.
got cold feet.
with Ben reportedly going to a Vancouver strip club with celebrity friends. And in August of 23, Gigli drops in theaters and flops in revenue as it took in only $6 million.
Are you on the Wikipedia for all of this?
No. There's I looked up an article called Bennifer Timeline, and it has like the whole entire timeline.
I fucking love the internet. Wow, what a
The
gift!
internet is
So
undefeated.
anyway, going back to your original question, beyond the fact that the mom dies, it's like the struggle of him raising his daughter, like that he was like a big like a music agent or some shit like that, and then he has to basically go be a garbage man with his dad in New Jersey because it's like a for sure thing.
Oh, I've seen the movie.
Right,
I like the
but,
movie.
like,
I'm asking
that
you
whole-
if
the
it's
whole
cry
struggle
worthy.
and like the bond between him and his daughter. Like I could understand why somebody would get emotional watching this movie.
So what I said it to her was, I'm like, is this your like shame?
You don't have to do the accent, by the way.
I go, is this a shame? Your shame cry. She goes, what do you mean? I go, we all have that one movie that we cried in that nobody else has cried in, and then we're like, wow, that it just affects us. She's like, no, the
Like
mom died.
stepmom?
She's like, the mom died. I'm like, what?
Stepmom.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
It's not a shocker. She's gonna die.
Yeah.
They tell you.
But I
Spoiler.
gave her the example, and Woobro listeners, for a long time, Woobro listeners know I cried. First of all, I cried a lot of movies, but the one that gets me is The Mask with Jim Carrey. Like, I cried at that movie.
You cried? You don't know the story?
You don't know the story?
The story's great.
Yeah.
I know the story, but
my
it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Please.
So I cried at that movie.
I just keep getting birthday gifts, and it's not even 12 yet. Go ahead.
And she asked me, she's
My
like,
pen's wrong.
so this is the funniest thing, because she goes, wait a minute. You cried at The Mask with Jim Carrey, and you really are going to sit here and make fun of me for crying at Jersey Girl? I was like, well, one of them made $6 million in the movie theater, and the other one made $27 million in the movie. Like, there's a big difference. But I explained
Not
to her.
to be braggy or anything.
No, but I
There's a
explained.
big difference.
But I explained to her I go, when I tell you why and what scene and why I cried at that movie.
The dog.
The dog, and you're gonna understand it. She goes, no, I won't. I'm like, all right, here we go. Ready? Get your shit together.
I'm hearing the story for the first time.
You
so-
haven't heard it?
No.
Okay, so there's a scene where he's in jail.
Yes,
Jim
I
Carrey,
remember.
and he looks outside the bars of the window, right?
And he's sending the dog
And he's
to
telling
go
his dog
away.
to go away to find a new owner, who could take care of him because he's no
Harry
good.
and the Henderson style?
Very much so. But so he's telling him, get away,
that movie.
just go find somebody else to take care of you because I'm a loser, and basically telling him that he can't take care of him the way he should. A week before I saw that movie, my dog died.
Oh no!
My first dog died. And I was like,
Okay, no, then that's different.
And I was like, dude, and I'm watching this movie in class, in fucking class, and I'm like,
What grade were you in?
6th grade, 7th grade, something like that. Yeah.
What'd you tell your friends? You stubbed your toe?
No,
You were like, I'm crying because my dog died?
because my dog died.
Aww.
Whoever cannot understand that
It's dead inside.
is dead inside, and it doesn't deserve. Like, you can ridicule me all you want. Here's the thing: there's no group of bullies that will all agree to that. So let's say the group of bullies, you know how there's always one leader, and like, oh, can you believe this pussy's crying over a fucking dog? Every other one of his fucking friends would be like, "Hey man, calm the fuck down." That's just like everyone. Like, you're not gonna find 6 assholes hanging out together that don't understand a fucking dead dog.
True.
Like that's obscene, absurd. So yeah. So when I said that story, everybody's like, "All right, fine." Like they were like, "We'll give you that one." I'm like, "Yeah, no, that you can't." I'm like, and she's like, "But the mom died." I'm like, "All right, so whatever." I think I'm gonna watch it again.
Jersey Girl?
Just refresh your memory.
No, Jersey Girl. I can't watch it.
Is it too soon for the mask?
I watched The Mask not too long ago, maybe like a year ago.
It still holds up.
It's not. Yeah, it does.
I've been wanting to rewatch Jersey Girl. So let me know.
You want to do a Mystery Rubro Theater?
Sure.
We'll do a Mystery Rubro Theater. Tomorrow, Missy and I are doing, she doesn't know this yet, but tomorrow for her birthday, we're doing a Mystery Rubro Theater for Bloodsport. The greatest Van Damme movie of all time.
I'm busy.
The greatest Van Damme movie of all time is Time Cop.
You're not wrong.
You're both wrong because I'm not watching that shit. I'm not. Why? I'm not. It's my birthday. I should pick a shit movie.
Okay. Pick a shit movie.
Give me a minute. Don't put me on the spot. I'm recording right now. And my phone's down because I'm a responsible panelist.
There you go. So that's what I was asking about Jersey Girl. That's the only thing I was asking. So that happened. We talked about... Oh, we haven't talked about this. Did you guys watch the documentary on Michael Jackson?
No.
Apparently, he touched little boys.
Shocking.
This is brand new information.
Why? So I have a question. I haven't watched it. I told you guys
It's called, wait, for the listeners. To the listener, we're talking about the documentary
on
called...
HBO.
On HBO. It's called Leaving Neverland.
It's not about Peter Pan.
No.
So my question is...
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what the fuck? Peter did all this?
What my question is, weren't these allegations already out and negated and put through trial? So
Yes.
what is...
He went to trial and he was found not guilty.
So what's the bombshell in this doc? Because I've on purpose not watched it.
The whole thing is that Wade Robson, who most people know for being the Crimea River guy,
he fucking broke up Britney and Justin. That's what the fuck he did.
He was Australian. I learned something.
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know who Wade... I didn't even know he had a thing.
He's the choreographer.
Do you remember the pop video from NSYNC? You remember how Joey... Did you watch Making the Video where Joey got injured and someone had to step in for him? He's the guy that stepped in for Joey.
Okay.
He also stepped into
With a
Britney's
fat suit?
vagina.
Did he have a fat suit on?
You can tell that there's somebody like in certain shots.
Excuse me, why does Joey look 80 pounds lighter in this shot than
He had the surgery. Stop judging.
for this one scene?
It's the angles. Anyway,
so what's the bombshell here?
So it's basically Wade Robson when he was a kid was
5 years old, literally
when he's 5 years old.
5 years old.
And this other guy, Jimmy Safechuck, are in this documentary basically just talking about how they were found by Michael Jackson, how their families were invited to go on tour and to stay in Neverland, and basically like how
they were groomed
these kids.
Look at you using the terminology I taught you.
Not only allowing him to abuse them, but and how he like basically taught them that they can't say anything, like what a typical
grooming.
But abused like
sexually abused like
Steve again, I haven't even seen both of them yet because there's two. They're each of them like an hour and 45 minutes or hour and 50 minutes.
Each part's like an hour and a half.
So I've only seen like the first part, but not even the whole first part. I'm like at an hour and 20 of the first part. So I still got a little bit left to go over the first part. But so far, what I've watched is the guy Steve, weird name, Jimmy. I'm sorry, yeah, Jimmy. Weird last name.
Safe.
Had like he gives the like, oh, this is what happened, and like the account, and it's not like, hey, Michael Jackson saw me at a show and he fucked me. Like it was
like how he started, like
slowly but surely, and
building up to like little things, and then you probably haven't seen Wade Robson's version of the story, but it's almost identical, like in the same like levels of like how he started, like how he would get the parents to allow their kids to sleep in his bed. which I had heard
He
that
got
from,
the parents to let the kids sleep in his bed.
But it was over time. Again, it wasn't
Like,
like,
over time.
it wasn't like, hey, I'm Michael Jackson. Can your kids sleep in my bed? Like that's my friends were making fun of that. My friends were like, if I take my friend has a son, he goes, if I take my son, if we're hanging out Chuck E. Cheese and Lady Gaga goes, hey, I want your kid to sleep in my bed, I'm gonna say no. I'm like, yeah, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
He basically,
It's like over time and like buttered them up, and like not only did he just spend a lot of time with the kid, but he spent a lot of time with the parents too, separately.
He would give like the sob story to the parents of like he was so lonely and he doesn't have any friends, and he
didn't have a childhood.
He didn't have a childhood, so like that's why he built this home where it's basically a giant amusement park and there's toys, because he just wanted to be a kid. And in seeing a lot of this stuff, and I don't want to like spoil too much, but in hearing about a lot of the things that Michael allegedly did to these kids, a lot of it sounds very like things that kids do when they're little, like because kids experiment with each other when they're little, like, you know, like, and I don't want to like go too much into it because you guys haven't finished it, but so there's a small part of me that like kind of understands that he was physically abused by his father, that he was, you know,
yeah, no, there's a reason.
Grow up.
No,
like, there's definitely like reasons behind this.
Listen, I'm not trying to like. I'm being honest. I'm being honest when I say this. Every monster has an origin story.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
And I believe that there was a reason why he became a monster. I don't believe he was born a monster, and so he was created a monster, but at the end of the day, he's still a fucking monster.
Right, exactly.
So, like, is it understandable? Can you see where he came from? Can you see where... Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't change the fact that he's a monster.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I don't... Like, that's... My friends were saying all... Like, I have friends who, like, vehemently defending, you know, it's... You know, what a coincidence all this shit comes out, you know, this documentary comes out after he's dead when he can defend himself. I was like, guys, this is, like... The shit leading up to it, the shit that's undeniable on video is enough for me to raise flags and being like, no, that's it. This guy sent a film crew to Jimmy, weird last name's house. The kid was 8-9 years old. He sent the film crew.
He was 7.
7, right? He was 7 years old. So he sends a film crew to just have him talk about Michael Jackson.
Right.
This is back in the days before the internet, so it wasn't like, oh, we need the publicity. He was already Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He already had dropped the...
He had just... a lot of this starts like right after Bad
dropped. So they talk about... They gave the numbers. Bad drops. The album Bad drops. And he sold 500,000 copies in a day.
Mm-hmm.
The day... That's unheard of.
And that's when you had to go to the store.
Right.
You have to go to the store.
You couldn't download it.
You could, like, people were skipping school to go fucking buy this album, right? That's a pretty good guess here that people were doing that. 500,000 copies in a day, the day that it drops, that's absurd. Those are crazy numbers, right? So it's not like he needs the publicity. It's not like Michael was like, whoa, it's not a marketing thing.
A struggling artist that nobody knows who the fuck
It's not a marketing thing. This isn't nowadays where it's like, we're going to put this on Instagram and create some heat. No, bitch, you are already the fucking biggest. You're white hot. You're what? No pun intended. You're
sure, Jan.
super hot. You are already the pinnacle of success in your career. This is it. This is the fucking pinnacle. So why would you need to send a film crew to a little boy's house? A little boy who won a dance contest? A local dance contest? Who gives
No, he was on the commercial.
Oh, right. That's right. He got the commercial. Jimmy got the commercial.
He got
the
the
Pepsi
commercial
commercial.
from winning a local dance contest.
No, Wade won the dance. Yeah, there's two.
So you three have not watched Abducted in Plain
I have
Sight.
seen Abducted in Plain Sight.
I haven't seen it yet.
I have seen Abducted.
That's next on my list.
That's a whole other can of worms.
But to me, all I'm saying is about, before we get into a documentary I haven't seen, I'm just saying, like, telling my friends who were defending him, I'm like, dude, you're defending him because you're a fan of his art.
Exactly.
And I understand that being a fan of something totally makes it difficult to become impartial. I understand. I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not stupid. I get it. But you're going to tell me, and then they started blaming the parents. I'm like, great. Blame the parents. That's fine. Whatever.
To a degree, the parents are definitely responsible.
Oh, no.
Of course.
No, they share responsibility.
100%.
Absolutely. I'm not saying, and I wasn't disagreeing with any of what my friends are saying. I'm like, but I go, look, and they go, my friend goes, oh, unless I see the tape, unless I see video evidence, I'm like, then you're never going to believe it.
Right.
Then that's your decision to not want to believe it, and that's fine. I go, but to me, the biggest red flag to me is he sent a film crew to a 7-year-old's house. For what? You're already Michael Jackson. What in your, like, what justification business, just professional justification, non-creepy justification can there possibly be for the hugest, biggest star of the celebrity in the world to send a film crew to a 7-year-old nobody's house? Like, what business? What? That's already creepy level 1,000, dude. And my friend goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not denying that he's creepy." I'm like, dude, when there's smoke, there's fire, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm like, I don't. That's you know who doesn't send film crews to 7-year-old little boys' house? People who aren't fucking creeps. That's creepy as shit, man. I'm sorry.
Well,
and I get it. I'm a huge Michael Jackson. I'm a huge fan of his music. Huge fan. I fucking But I don't. You can tell me that this is raised eyebrows. This is fucking creepy, dude.
So the reason why I was bringing up Abducted in Plain Sight, and I'm not going to go into details because you guys are going to watch it, but it does fall. I have seen that. I saw that documentary and yelled, "What the fuck?" for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's
understand.
basically what you do for an hour.
But a lot of the patterns that you're talking about, it's like he's grooming the parents. He's like slowly, like it's not like an aggressive implementation into their lives. He worked on their parents to gain access to the kids. Like this is all shit that, aside from the documentary, like if you are part of the Archdiocese of Miami and you participate in young adult ministry, stuff like that, or anything that has to do with young, like minors, the Archdiocese makes you take training on this kind of shit because of, you know, the history that the church has. And you sit there and you'll watch fucking videos where predators will explain to you exactly how the fuck they get inside these people's lives, and you know, gain the trust to have access to the kid whenever the fuck they want, to do whatever they want with the kid. And so I would imagine that it's even harder to catch on to that, because like if somebody like does it gradually, like you're not going to pick up on it on day one. You'll probably figure
you're building trust.
But if it's coming from fucking Michael Jackson, like why would your radar even be on to that?
Well, that's what
that's a big part of it.
That's a huge part of it.
One of the moms was saying is like she admitted, like she admits it, you get caught up in it and you're thinking
they're flying her first class, they're going to hotel suites and presidential suites in the fucking Paris.
Yeah, you're like going everywhere first class, like.
And she says that it's just like Michael Jackson wanted to spend time with us, like. But
he would like spend time
in
at their house.
He would
like
go to
not just in like the suites and like, oh, when you come to me you're treated like royalty. He would go to them.
Yeah. And she says that he would walk
like,
and
they
he would
picked
be like,
him
oh,
up.
I'm home. Like he didn't, like he wanted, like he made it.
Like he wanted a family life.
Like he wanted a family life, and like he wanted an escape from like all the hubbub
but
of
like
being Michael Jackson.
they even like before he got Neverland, the other house that he was staying in, they went and they like snuck him out of that house to like be away from the paparazzi, and they took him back to their home, and he was like,
he would like have dinners there.
Yeah,
like,
and she even said, the mom even said, she's like, oh, I started to love him like he was my son. Like I felt protective over him because he acted like a child. And then like he would during the day,
to me
when the
is the biggest fucking red flag of all time, dude.
When the 7-year-old was at school, he would call the mom and spend hours on the phone with the mom, just like being friendly, building a relationship with her, so that she was like, I know him, quote unquote.
So that's the strategy, though.
That was him grooming the parents.
And when it's a superstar, when it's a megastar,
it has to be worse.
You have like stars in your eyes.
Exactly. You're completely starstruck, and you have these blinders because, holy crap, Michael Jackson wants to be
and this
my
is the
friend.
Other thing, both these kids were like, well, Wade, is a really good dancer, but the other kid, Jimmy, wasn't a great dancer also. So he's promising them also like careers and like that he can make them famous and like he can give them the things that they've always dreamed of or whatever. So, and like one of the...
And like Wade was obsessed with Michael.
This is a little bit further. I don't know if you guys got this far, but like one of the moms even like she was having her marriage was kind of falling apart during all of this.
Jimmy's parents?
No, it was actually, well, no, then you didn't get this far, so I won't, never.
Well, but Jimmy's mom does say that like they were in a bad, like her and her husband were in a bad place in their marriage, and then Jimmy comes and even says that they would like Michael and Jimmy would listen to his parents fighting, and Michael would tell him like, oh, see, women are evil.
Yeah, he
like
would
look at your mom and she's evil, and he was like planting a seed in his mind to like turn Jimmy against his mom.
I'm not saying that women are not evil. I'm just saying that you shouldn't say. Dude, there was one story that I was like, literally,
You're the fucking worst.
I know, I'm so fucking
really
great.
is.
Like there was one story where Jimmy was saying that he, I'm not gonna support. When he starts talking about the physical things that they did,
It's
really
crazy
like,
creepy.
it feels like a punch in the gut.
Like no, forget, dude.
No.
I'm talking about explicit. Like he did this, and he taught me how to do this, and I taught him how to do it, and we went like that, and I would rub his nipples, and it's a whole thing. So
I've lost too many heroes.
so then he said, oh, there was one time Michael said that while I was sleeping that he gave me oral sex while I was sleeping. And so we hear that, and I pause it, and I look over at Vanessa. I go, look, there's a part of me, like the parental part of me, is wanting to kill Michael. Like I would kill that. Like I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
This is not a I have a million things to do today, and I only have 12. Like I would legitimately kill somebody who did that to my child.
Right.
Legitimately,
Yeah.
kill somebody who did that to my child. So as a parent, I'm fucking infuriated. As a man who was once a boy, I'm like, that's the scariest thing I fucking ever heard in my life. As a comedian, I'm like, how shitty is that blowjob that kid did not wake up? Like, let's be honest. Like, fuck, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to laugh at it when I heard it earlier, and I don't want to laugh at this now.
As a comedian, like, let's be honest though, like, how shitty is that blowjob? And I used to get blowjobs. I used to get woken up by blowjobs, not in the last 11 years, but
Shut
before
the
that.
fuck up.
But before that, and I remember thinking to myself,
Again,
this is
way to keep
fantastic.
kicking me.
This is fantastic.
Her head is in my crotch.
that.
She's wagging her tail and it's fanning me.
Yeah, so I would literally like, yeah, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, I would wake up that way going, this is amazing.
My foot now.
Yeah,
I kicked Lainey out.
It's a rough watch. I'm not done with it. I probably have another hour and a half.
He
of
wants
the second
you to,
part.
though. Like he wants to.
I know that you had brought up like the trial and that this was all like said and done or something like earlier when you were first.
So wait, he was acquitted from those charges, but for other kids.
He was. So one of the kids, Jordan Chandler, pressed charges against him for child abuse and sex with a minor or something like that.
But they settled.
No, he was acquitted. This went to trial by jury. He was acquitted.
Oh, this was like in the early 2000s, right?
No, this is later on. This is like
in the 90s.
Really? I thought it was later on in his.
I don't.
Because I know he went through it a couple times.
Well, Jordan Chandler, the one I'm specifically speaking about, he was the kid that replaced Wade, because Jimmy was replaced by Macaulay Culkin, and then there was another kid, Brett Barnes, that was in the mix too. Brett Barnes and Macaulay Culkin have maintained that nothing ever happened to them. That I don't believe it for a second, but whatever.
But who? And this is not a joke. Who did Corey? One of the Corys replace?
Nah,
because Corey
Feldman hung around. They don't talk about, as far as I think, they haven't brought up Corey Feldman.
But Corey Feldman,
he hung around with him a lot.
But he has said in recent interviews, he said that Michael did touch him.
Right.
He said that there was inappropriateness, and that he tried to say this 20 years ago, and nobody listened.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but Corey Feldman's also a little off his. Not that I'm like victim blaming or anything, but Corey Feldman also is like, I take what he says with a grain of salt. But having seen this, but I don't know. They haven't brought him up yet, so I don't know where it fronts up. But he would tell them what many abusers, adult abusers, tell their kids is that if you ever tell anybody about this, you and I will go to jail for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And they'll tear us
They make
apart.
the kids feel guilty.
Right. So when it comes time that the police are investigating this,
they're just terrified to their bones.
Yeah.
they straight up lie. Like they tell him, like they tell the
nothing
cops.
happened.
But it's because they think
they testified on his behalf.
Well, like Jimmy was saying, one of the things he was saying is that they would do drills, and like they would pretend that somebody was walking in, and they would do drills to see like how quickly they could get dressed.
Stop.
without making a sound.
Without making and like doing it quietly.
The hallway leading to his bedroom had 3 different doors.
Yeah, and
like locks, like several locks,
so that it would
bells.
You could hear
And bells. Like there was like trip. Like
and then he even said that they would be in his room, but then they would go in the closet so they could close another door. So there was more barriers.
His housekeeper testified that there was a closet within a closet, and that's where he would take the boys.
And the part that struck me was that they said that there were bells, like they were like have little bells to trip, like little sound alarms to trip, and I'm like, just fucking put Legos. Somebody's oh shit, somebody's like, you can't. There's nobody who's not screaming when they step on Legos.
True.
Yes.
Well,
So
And another scary thing from that one was like Jimmy was talking, because we've seen mostly is Jimmy's story. Like Jimmy was talking about when he listens back to like the recorded conversations between him and Michael Jackson. He's like, you can hear the infatuation coming from both of us. Like Michael would get these kids to fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy at one point says that he felt like they were a married couple.
Yeah, like they
would
were in a
spend so much
romantic
time- like,
relationship.
he compared it to like the beginning of a relationship where all you want to do is like
that
have sex with somebody.
that happens-
That's what he says. Like that's what he says it was like.
this girl from Abducted in Plain Sight said the same thing,
Right.
that she remained loyal to her abuser for years, like decades, because she felt like a commitment that and like a connection to her abuser, in which she thought no one would ever love her, like she could never love anyone, and conversely they love her the way that her abuser did. So yeah, we're a pretty fucked up species. That's pretty fucked up to, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to like, I honestly am having a hard time paying attention to these stories. Like I haven't watched the R. Kelly interview because it's just so fucked up. It's just no.
Gayle King is.
But
so
what I'm
fucking-
saying,
She deserves a fucking raise.
But what I'm getting at is that
More
like,
than being Oprah's friend, I think she's got. I mean, that's the raise that everybody wants.
no. But what I'm getting
Oprah, give your friend a raise.
what I'm getting at is that like it's just such a fucked up like peek into this window that you never ever wanted to even look at, and
That's how it feels.
it's
like
just,
watching this documentary.
it's just kind of devastating to know that somebody or a group of people could be like a population, I guess, would be have like function like on a
society.
cognitive way to towards children. I can't wrap my head around it. So I know that it's like stupid because I don't have any kind of emotional, like I don't
you're not
have that
attached to
kind of
these kids,
abuse.
right.
Yeah. Like it would be different like if I had that history and like I didn't want to relive it. That's not the case. It's just I kind of don't want to fucking know how fucked up we can be.
Right.
But it's like inescapable.
I haven't
at this
watched the R.
rate.
Kelly documentaries just because I haven't watched it. But that
I haven't
but that-
watched the
But the
documentaries.
interview is fucking gold.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the
interview.
documentaries.
Please believe me.
I haven't watched the interview. I haven't watched the interview, and the only thing I did watch in relation to that fucking hot mess, was Gayle King was on Colbert last week, which was amazing. But before that, one
She
of
was? I
his
didn't see that.
the clips
Did it
are
talk
on
about R.
YouTube.
Kelly?
Oh, of course.
Wouldn't it be weird? She shows up. What do you want to talk about? Just I have a book deal.
Yeah. My taxes.
my friend Oprah.
And but the one thing I did watch in relation to this was the one of the girlfriends, I forget her name, so I'm sorry for that, but she was on the Red Table Talk and she talked about how she had testified and he got acquitted like from I don't know how many years ago. And
about R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just really fucked up to hear what these people have experienced, have had to survive, and I don't know. I have it's just hard for me to really scratch at that fucking surface because I don't want to believe that we're really that fucked up. But I mean, I think there's a chance we might be.
Regular, not famous people do these kinds of things, and it's sad. But like I know we've talked about when we've talked about Tristan Thompson, like the rules are different for celebrities, and when you're rich and you're employing people and they're at the mercy of their paycheck is on you. Like,
their livelihood.
Get them to do anything.
Of course.
You know how many people have sat for years? How much of Michael Jackson's staff sat for 20 years?
Right, they just like sat back and watched
just sat
all
back
this
and just
happen.
watched it happen and watched kid after kid after kid come through, because every 2 years the cycle changes because the kid gets too old to be desirable.
Yeah.
So then we have to bring a new person in.
That's how in Abducted in, like, not to spoil it, but the Abducted in Plain Sight relationship died down eventually because
when she was like 16,
because she was too old,
right?
And he just didn't find her attractive at 16. Didn't find her attractive, and the fucking like the shit this guy did.
Oh no, it's bad. You need to watch this.
That's what we should watch tomorrow, and we should record your reaction because
yes.
Wait, that's what you want to watch on your birthday?
Oh, but I want to watch some shit Van Damme movie.
First of all, you said awesome wrong.
I did not say awesome wrong.
You said awesome wrong.
I did
don't
not say
understand.
I'm gonna watch Time Cop.
But yeah,
I don't want to watch that
Time Cop is
fucking
amazing
movie.
too.
Time Cop is amazing.
It's amazing.
Shut your
You
whore
shut your
mouth.
whore mouth.
Oh
man.
my
It's
God.
amazing. And it has
First
that
of
chick
all,
from Ferris Bueller.
I'll come watch Time Cop with you.
Time Cop is great.
Are you coming during
It's
the day?
legitimately his second best movie of all time.
I'm gonna be at the beach.
The best part of his career has always been his cameo in the Friends episodes after the Super Bowl. That's the best
I'm
thing
not
he ever
disagreeing
did.
with you. That's also great. But did you not see Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
No, I
Did
was.
you not see that cameo?
No, I
Can
was.
you pull up that GIF?
I
Can you
was.
pull up that-
I was off doing literally anything else.
Okay. You haven't seen. First of all, have you seen Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Is there one that I need to watch before
Yeah,
I
it's
see
called
two?
Breaking. Duh.
Oh my
Why would there be a
God.
Breaking 2 if there's not a Breaking? This is
I don't know. Why would there be Ninja 3 without a 1 or 2? Sorry for asking.
It's an
questions.
anthology series that they fucking figured out was a thing 10 years. Look. All right, this is a scene from Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I love the underwear over the
What
leggings.
movie is this?
Breaking
I mean,
2
what
Electric
year
Boogaloo.
did this come out?
85.
Oh.
Did it already pass?
I don't know.
I don't think that was.
I don't think that was the right clip.
Oh, look at it right there.
I can go back.
No, that's right there. He's right there. He's clapping. Greater than that cameo? No, thank you, my friend.
No.
Is that all he does in that movie?
He's a
Okay,
cameo.
fine.
Like, literally, he was a nobody. Like that, he wasn't anything at that point.
Then the
Jean-Claude?
then
No,
their
he
friends.
wasn't even
then
that. He was
their-
an extra. He was extra number 17.
Then the friends thing just got bumped because
Yeah.
that's a little bit better.
That's right.
But please don't ever dance like that again.
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't want to watch
Listen,
it.
I
No.
don't understand why you don't
No.
want to watch it, because if you love Ninja 3 Domination, these are the kind of movies that you want to watch,
Man, because I never get to pick any of the movies. That's
So
to
pick
sit
a
through
movie.
47 Sharknadoes.
Hey, that wasn't my fault, man. And I was with you. I fucking walked out of the
On the
fucking...
last one.
The only one that I was invited to? Yeah, you damn
No,
right.
the only one that you were home for, okay?
That's right. Exactly. Same.
Traveling
We're
comedian.
saying the same.
Quote,
We're saying the same
unquote.
thing. But yeah, I walked out with you on that one. So don't ever bring up Sharknado with me, because me and you, I was like, I don't know why she's watching these movies.
First of
They're
all,
fucking awful.
I had already
Because all the other ones that we saw before them were good.
No.
Good, bad.
I don't. I
Bad, good.
No.
What is the phrase?
I-
Bad,
The
good?
words you're using are incorrect. They do not apply.
They were entertaining. They had chat.
and you haven't even dropped them.
I don't know where they are.
They're lost, man. Those things are
No,
gone.
they're not. I will find them sometime. At some point.
They're gone, man. Unless you
No.
separated them into a separate folder.
Oh,
those
I'm
are
glad.
gone.
I'm glad that I
Those
came.
are
That
gone.
I yeah. Well,
We
I
should
did,
watch them
That
again.
wasn't my fault, though. I don't understand. Like, don't put that on me.
I'm not putting
Don't put
it
that
on
on me,
you.
Ricky Bobby. Don't put that on me.
I'm putting a general statement that
If you-
I never
all right.
pick a movie
Because you have said in the past that you don't have you didn't grow up watching movies, so you haven't watched a lot of movies. You've said that in the
I can
past.
pick a.
Watch Reality Bites or something.
I can't make you watch
Run
Reality
away.
Bites because the Rotten Tomato score is too high. Same thing for Clueless. I already looked it up. So
But Clueless
I'm
is
looking,
But Clueless, we've all seen a million times.
and it's a great movie.
It is a great
If
movie.
that's what you say, that's your story. You're
You're
sticking
so
to
full
it.
of shit.
Doesn't age well.
You don't age well.
Obviously, look at
Your
me.
face.
Obviously, look at me. I'm fucking gross. You're right. What I
No,
wouldn't
I'm
give
not
to
watching
go back
that
to
shit.
15.
And I'm not going to the gym. Anyway, so I just want you to know that I'm going to pick a movie.
Okay.
It's gonna have a strong female lead, though.
It will not.
Okay.
Why are you so anti-women?
Have you seen her iTunes
Do you
account?
understand that? Do you know that movie Colombiana with
Oh yeah, Zoe Deschanel.
It's $9.99.
Saldana.
Zoe Saldana, the one with
It's
the
$9.90. It's $9.
You beat me to it.
One what?
the one with the AIDS. It's the other Zoe with AIDS.
No, she doesn't.
What happened?
It's an inside joke.
Oh, my bad.
It's an inside joke. There was one time where we were on a
This
pod,
is so
we were on a
concerned.
Geekmore, and we brought up Zoe Saldana, and one of the panelists, and I'm not gonna say who, one of the panelists said, "Oh man, she's great,
Zoe Saldana
she's
has
great, but
AIDS."
too bad she has AIDS." And the rest of us like, "What?" And you're like, "Yeah," and that's said.
That happened a lot.
That
That's
was
the
said.
time where Dave was just like, no.
and then he said, Dave goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That happened a lot.
Yeah, happened a lot, and so we all immediately. Like, here's the thing:
know who
nobody,
he's talking about?
nobody even,
No.
nobody even denied, nobody even like said you're fucking wrong. We just all looked at each other. The rest of us, the other three, looked at each other quietly. We just looked at each other, and we all slowly took our supercomputers out of our fucking pockets and we all searched this information, and we immediately found that this information was inaccurate.
It's
It wasn't even like,
incorrect.
oh, this is an urban legend and this is a... No. There's nothing
Like
on
Michael
this.
B. Jordan being gay.
No, well, that's a thing. But
It hasn't been
it
confirmed.
hasn't been confirmed, but it's...
It can't happen again.
It
I was
is
fooled
not
with Ricky
true.
Martin. I can't
She
be
does
fooled
have
again.
an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
but
That's
it's
not AIDS.
That's a huge leap.
That is a very different thing from
She
AIDS.
also raises awareness for HIV/AIDS research.
Still not doesn't mean she has AIDS.
The reason why I bring her up is because Colombiana's on sale this week for $9.99, and just on fucking principle of not getting my balls busted, I haven't bought it. But I want to.
Did you not see the last?
But I
Did you not
haven't.
see the 10 movies I bought yesterday?
I don't know, but you're 9 away from 2000.
But
We
did you
gotta strategize about
but
2000.
did-
My vote is Coyote Ugly.
Did you not see the 10 movies that I bought yesterday?
You buy a lot of movies.
I leaned into my fucking my wheelhouse. Are you kidding me? Cobra, Out for Justice,
Nobody
Above
leans
the
in-
Law. These are
no-
Steven Seagal movies, by the way.
Nobody leans into their niche like Dave does. I get
no.
irrationally angry with his purchases.
Dave literally said to me today, he goes, I go, man, I got the Ultimate Guy pack, the Ultimate Guy movie bundle yesterday, and I listed the movies, and he goes, there's an actual is that the actual name of the bundle? And I was like, no, asshole, I bought these movies. I bought these movies individually. After I was done, I go, wow, I really do have I really do have a genre, don't I? I really have a wheelhouse, and I fucking leaned into it. And he goes, yeah, I have the next theme of movies. My next theme is very much like me. And I go, is it going to be Middle Eastern noir crime movies, detective movies? Like that.
Fucking every kung fu movie ever produced of all time. It made me so angry.
But Jeff likes kung fu movies too.
No,
He
we all
doesn't-
like kung fu
buy
movies.
them like
we
that.
we all
He
like
doesn't have to. Dave buys them all.
But we all like kung fu
Just
movies.
like you don't
It's-
have to buy any of the other movies. You can only buy strong female leads because they buy them all.
Excuse me, I bought Aquaman last week that does not have a strong
Yes, it
female
does.
It has
lead.
a
Yes, she
jaggedy
does.
ass
She-
Little
she
Mermaid
does have-
wannabe bitch.
Well, she's still an upgrade.
First of all, she is a strong
She speaks.
female, and she's a lead in that movie.
She's not 16 running away from
She
home
is-
either.
A
You
janky
can't
ass
talk to me like that.
wannabe.
I'm not a child anymore.
Bitch, please.
What was I gonna tell you? No, we all like kung fu movies, but his aren't kung fu movies. His are samurai movies, which there's a difference. I know for you girls, but there's a difference. And he likes samurai movies that are black and white
Yes.
and dubbed.
Yes.
We're like, come on, dude, pick one of the three. You're picking all three of those.
So angry.
Pick a fucking samurai movie or pick a black and white movie,
angry.
but don't let that black and white movie be a samurai movie that's also dubbed. Holy fuck, man! This is
What do you watch?
not that.
my iPad. I have the Bravo app on my iPad, and that's what gets me.
It would have been great if she would have been like Neri's movies. That would like I just go over.
That is what I actually go to Neri's movie, and then if I don't watch anything, I turn off the TV.
I watch
Probably
Netflix.
the right choice.
Because I'm not going into. I would lose like time of my life, like trying to scroll through Dave's account, trying to find something that I want to watch.
But anyways, so
Wait, going back to the Michael Jackson thing, 'cause I wanted to ask you a question and I forgot. So you've said in the past, like with the whole Mel Gibson drama
right,
and his crazy rants and stuff, that he doesn't owe you anything but good work.
correct.
Do you feel the same way about Michael
Well,
Jackson?
my statement before in the past has been unless they physically harm somebody, because if you're racist, you're not physically harming somebody.
But you're emotionally harming.
It doesn't matter. That's not what I said. What I said was, I don't care. You don't owe me to be a good person.
Harm is harm.
No,
and there's
I don't. I disagree. Let me fucking
And then you
say
can
my
yell at him.
statement. I don't think that you being a racist makes you a bad person. Absolutely. You being a racist does not affect how I enjoy your art, because I don't care that you're a racist, because I don't care. Just like I don't care about your political views. You could support, I don't know, pick someone who's awful. I don't know, currently in office. And if you do, I don't. Your
we
work
love
is
America, NSA.
your work is your work. And that's fine. My statement has always been, unless you physically harm somebody, I don't care. So that's been my stance.
So then you're done with Michael.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm not done with the documentary, so maybe maybe by the end I
It'll
get
be
turned
like
around.
like Love Simon.
Yeah, I'll be like,
the-
oh, it was worth it. I get it.
I love him so much.
I can love him again.
I don't think it's gonna end.
So yeah,
there.
I don't think that's
you know,
gonna
that's some
Plot twist.
Maybe there's a Tarantino twist at
has
the end.
hope.
You know, where he comes
And then
out.
show us the end at the
M. Night
beginning.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It's a Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, Hamala, and then he comes out and be like, I don't know, maybe the hologram tells us that he didn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. So that's been my thing. But yeah, I kind of went the same way with Cosby. That was kind of a difficult route too, because I love the Cosby Show. So I can acknowledge how great the Cosby Show was, but I don't know if I could go back and support and buy it
or watch it.
Well, I don't know about watching it, but financially supporting him is a different story. Because how like if I already had them on DVD, I've already purchased. You know what I mean?
Like he already has your money.
He already has my money. But I can't now. I can't go and watch the Cosby Show
like in good conscience.
In good conscience, because I would be supporting giving him money in some which way, shape, or form, and I feel bad about that because that was a huge.
Love that show.
Not only was it a fantastic show, not only was it a great show, it has so many people in that cast who, you know, by all accounts would need that money. Like whatever, you know what I mean. So like all these people who are not dirtbags, including Miss Aquaman, like those residuals will go towards her as well. But now I feel in good conscience I can't go back and give her money, because I'll be giving him money at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's a dilemma.
I can see what you're saying though, because Roseanne is not well,
right?
But the rest of the cast.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. So I was really happy when the show was able to carry on in the Connors, which I enjoyed this season.
They killed her, right?
Yeah.
She died, but she also had like a pill addiction, like an opiate addiction in last season. She apparently like OD'd after her surgery or something like that. So
I watched the first 10 minutes of the Connors of the first episode, and I was like, I don't know who half these people are on this fucking dinner table. I didn't know who the characters were.
But what I had said.
So she goes, go back. I'm like, nope.
Was it so funny?
Yeah, I think it is. I think, in my opinion, I had always suspected that this show was great because of everyone on the cast except for her. And now that she's out of it, that was reaffirmed for me. But it's not fair. You know, it wouldn't have been fair for the Connors to, like the show, the Connors to have just died
to suffer
because she said some ignorant, fucked up shit, and she got hers. Like the consequences came quickly. But I see what you're saying about like physical harm versus just a difference of. Like,
just like saying shit.
Yeah.
If you're not a good person, dude. If you're an asshole, you don't tip well. You're an infamous bad person. You're a snob. You're one of those. Do you know who I am? People in Hollywood. You're an asshole. I don't want to hang out with you. But you don't owe me that. You don't owe me a good personality. You owe me good work. As a consumer, you need to put your best fucking work on whatever format your medium is. So Russell Crowe throwing the phone at a bellhop. Yeah, that's dickheadish behavior. But you didn't actually hit him. So I mean, you know.
I tend to subscribe to the theory, or not theory, but to the belief that many times psychological trauma does way more damage than physical, and physical comes with its share of psychological drama, of course, but I mean there are scars that last way longer with psychological trauma than with physical. So I kind of disagree with you. I think that at this point,
but we can't see those, so how am I to judge what that guy is going through?
Telling you.
No. Like for example, Russell Crowe. To give the example of Russell Crowe, who is somebody who has had episodes of having awful behavior. He threw a phone at a bellhop.
Yeah. He did a Naomi.
Right. So how am I supposed to know what those? So do I know for a fact that that person has psychological scars, or I'm just assuming now for that person?
I mean, that particular instance, I don't know what happened to the bellhop, but like,
no, he just threw the phone, the hotel phone. He just threw it at the and hit the wall next to him or whatever. He didn't physically get hurt. So could he have psychological trauma because of that? Sure. Every time a phone goes off, he could fucking go into
it. But didn't Mel Gibson address a lot of his like racism to his current wife at the time?
No, it was a girlfriend, but yeah. But there's two instances. One instance was to a cop. Was to a cop, and then the other instance, But
I'm willing to bet you money that his girlfriend or whoever he was with at the time has suffered and has done a lot of therapy for the things, because that's what we saw in that one instance. Who knows how long that was going on prior?
So what he was saying in private.
Right. Well, what I would add to that this back and forth is the following. I think that in physical abuse, there's a way to quantify the damage because you can see it.
It's visible.
And then you like a victim will get restored by it because you go to the cops, you file, like your friends will see it. It's like you go to the doctors, like there's physical attestation,
evidence
to what happened to you. With psychological or emotional trauma, you have nothing.
Right.
It's you and your therapist, and then it's you telling your story, and then but you're rolling the dice for people to roll their eyes and call bullshit on it.
Oh no, I completely understand
but that's what I'm saying is that it's so. To Stephanie's point, like me personally, if I had to pick, I would much rather get beat.
And I think we all could agree with that.
I want to pick. I'm not trying
either. There's diarrhea and there's shit. Like they're both not good.
But I think that I don't think that there's anybody who would disagree with that statement. I'm saying from the point of view as a consumer who's making a decision of where I'm going to put my money on and where I'm going to contribute my money to. So if I'm not going to contribute my money to somebody who physically abused somebody, her point would be, why are you putting your money towards somebody who emotionally abused somebody? My counter to that is, how do I know that they're emotional?
Right,
so how do I know? So how do I do that?
Right.
So
it's
how do I quantify?
You can't.
I can't. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's a trap. That's just kind of like the design of the whole paradigm, I guess.
Right.
Is that it's a logical train of thought that you're having because you were physically molested, they beat the shit out of you. There's evidence, there's physical evidence of what you went through. So naturally, like you go, like logically you would go, okay, well, I'm not spending another dollar on you.
Right.
But going off of somebody's, like, imagine if you were watching this documentary about MJ and there were no videos. It was just an account of what the victims were saying to you.
But it's still physical abuse.
But they're telling you, but there's no
proof of their abuse.
But there is no proof of their abuse. Still, right now, there's no proof of their abuse.
The context of this documentary, and again, I haven't seen it, so this is a legit question. They're offering you context in terms of like videos and
no.
I mean, they're showing videos in the sense of
they're showing you videos of like they're showing you videos of like, oh, he actually did go on tour with him, and there's video of him dancing on stage.
There's video of them.
That's it.
No, there's also video of him like walking in public places, holding hands with these little boys, with his arms around these boys.
Again, that's not abuse.
But those are not
fuck
no,
behavior.
Again, and you're talking to
suspect and guilty are different.
You're talking to the one who, to his friends, my best friend said, that's creepy behavior. That's a fucking flag. You're sending a film crew to somebody's house, dude. That's
right.
So but to answer your question, there is no video of any physical misbehavior.
Like there's no sex tape.
There is no sex tape. I believe them because of the story that they're giving. The amount of
detail that they're giving.
It's a lot, dude.
It's a lot.
Look, I'll be honest with you. It's very circumstantial, and I believe it because of the things that they can prove, such as he sent a film crew to my house. Who sends a film crew to a 7-year-old's house? That doesn't. Why? That's a biggest red flag to me. That's in the very beginning. That's the very first thing he did.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a huge. And then here's the thing: the documentary didn't point that out to me. It's not like the documentary said that's creepy.
No, that's like leaves it to your interpretation.
No, it's not even that. They fucking skim over that. Oh yeah, he sent a film crew to my house, and I didn't have any posters of Michael Jackson, so they added posters. And they go on, and I was like, already going, wait.
Hold up.
Can we go back to that? And that's all they fucking said about it. And I'm like, that to me, as somebody who is trying to be in the public eye and trying to be in entertainment,
right?
I understand.
Even if you're
I understand marketing. I understand like, hey, some things are for marketing and blah blah. This isn't one of those.
No,
you are already the fucking hottest thing on the planet.
I agree with you.
So this is another reason why I believe them, is because context. Because all these are circumstantial. This is what you call circumstantial evidence in court. Right. All of these things are circumstantial, where you like, well, yeah, but that could also just be his, quirkiness, or his, he's very that could just be.
He didn't have a childhood.
Whatever. But to me, you send a fucking film crew to a 7-year-old's house when you're already the fucking world's biggest star, and they make you dance on this video, and I'm like, no, that to me makes me believe that there's something wrong with you, the person who sent the film crew. And whatever's going to happen, whatever the stories that these other people tell, I'm more inclined to believe them, because I'm already like, this is already I've already thrown a red flag on a field.
Right. So again, so I think that, and I think you're right. Like the train of thought makes sense, I guess, to kind of offer another perspective. Like when the Kavanaugh stuff was happening, I didn't ever want him to go to jail because
little 7-year-old boy didn't put it in his planner.
No, you know what? Like I never wanted this guy to go to jail because for all intents purposes, if you're looking at the accounts of everybody's perspective of what happened, it is he said, she said.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So my issue wasn't that I wanted him to go to jail. My issue was that I didn't think he should get the job. It was like a job interview.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense in terms of like I think you're being objective to the point of like, could he go to jail for it? No, but did he fucking do things that were fucked up? Yeah. Right. And so I think that's where like that fucked up paradigm where you could be telling the truth and it doesn't fucking matter. You're not going to get justice. Right. And so that, I think that to me really is the part that it struggles with really fucking like indulging, like sitting down and watching these things, not just MJ, but also R. Kelly and like and whoever else is gonna come forward. Like it's just really, really hard to make my peace with the fact that you could tell the fucking truth and it still doesn't fucking matter. Like look what this woman went through. She fucking uprooted not just her life but her entire family's life. They'll never be able to go back to the way things were, and it didn't fucking matter. So I think that little grain is what is hard for me to really watch these things and not like pull my hair out and just like torture myself with
I think that R. Kelly might change the game in the sense of like, I think enough people know and believe. I mean, I know that there's
enough influential people,
right?
Yeah. Enough people. When you have John Legend and Lady Gaga,
did you catch? Did you catch? However, I did see a clip, and when Gayle asked him about, what do you think of like your colleagues like John Legend and Lady Gaga, he never fucking clapped at John Legend.
Never.
No.
He did. He fucking called Lady Gaga stupid. He told her that he's sad that her intelligence didn't let her see something.
Is that stupid? Is that stupid? I mean, that's not,
I mean, you're not fat. You're just ugly. Like that's exactly like, that's what he said.
No,
you're not
what he
fat,
said is you're not fat. You're just overweight. That's what he's saying. There's a big difference. You went from fat to ugly. Holy shit!
It's not fraud. It's false advertising.
You're not fat. But you have a pretty face. You should lose some weight.
It's not fraud.
You should smile more.
Yeah. So it's that shit.
Her intelligence level. I mean,
But isn't it funny though? It's a little intriguing to me that he won't fucking clap at John Legend.
I don't even think that. You know what? I'll be honest with you. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh, you're such a bitch, dude. Here's your fucking moment to go fuck what these people say. I don't give a fuck who you are."
I'm innocent.
That's what I thought they were gonna be like. But he totally avoided John Legend, and you say clap back. I think that was like a I don't know, like that was so weak. I was like, oh, dude, if you're gonna clap back, clap fucking back. If you're gonna talk shit about,
maybe not clap. Maybe he snapped his fingers.
Yeah, if you're gonna
maybe he just rolled his eyes.
Yeah, to me, I'm just
right. But he had something to say about Lady Gaga directly, and he skimmed right the fuck over John Legend.
And John
He's
Legend,
like, oh, and he got. I mean, well, Lady Gaga, I'm telling you.
The only clip I did see of the docuseries was I did see the clip of John Legend saying, "I don't care." Like I don't care. Like,
I don't care. I don't care what a child rapist has to say about me.
Right.
Like he's like flat out.
But
like John Legend was like, that's a clap.
But how many? But where is everyone else?
Right. No, but I think
John
Jada Pinkett and Will Smith came out publicly denouncing them, denouncing R. Kelly. That's a huge influence. Those are huge.
Of course, supported Jordan Woods.
You what?
Nothing.
What I'm saying is like a lot of artists have quietly, like Celine Dion pulled his song
Dave Chappelle
from
Dave Chappelle has been clapping on him for years,
right? But
these are huge influencers.
No, I know, but where is everyone else? Like, is there more than 10 people? Isn't there a Fuego festival now?
Yes, there's a Hispanic version.
Oh Lord!
What I want,
those people are gonna get stuck eating cold croquetas.
What I want, and I've told this to
sandwich, like a half croqueta, like a croqueta
with white bread.
Yeah, but even a half croqueta. I mean,
what I've wanted, what I've told Neri like at least half a dozen times. My wish, Santa.
Why do you keep talking to him?
Is for 50 Cent to fucking put on a musical festival and
it
just
succeed.
fucking
And it blow up.
I would buy a ticket. I won't even go, but I'll buy the ticket just to kind of, you know what I mean, just to contribute to the, because Ja Rule needs to shut the fuck up. Just go home.
Well, look,
It's not 2002.
I think that there's enough people with influence that are paying attention to this R. Kelly thing that I don't think. I mean, yes, he keeps getting arrested, and this is the second time he gets arrested, and this is the second time somebody bails him out because some dumb bitch keeps bailing him out. Whatever.
Get it?
But because there's people that don't want to. There's people that don't want to believe that their heroes can do something like this. Just like the Jackson family has come out.
My friend is legitimately one of those people about Michael Jackson. He is such a diehard Michael Jackson fan that he was he's giving every example. He's giving every excuse in the book. Oh, so after he's dead, right? Because dead men can't protect him. And he's just really, and it's the parents' fault for leaving. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, no, but I'm just like, I get it, but I'm like, dude, you're a huge Michael Jackson fan. It's hard, man. It's hard.
The Jackson family has come out and said that, like, they were on Good Morning America, like, the day that this documentary dropped, and they were saying that, like, they don't believe it because their little brother wouldn't have done this. Like, we don't want to believe that the people we love, whether we know them or not, we don't want to believe that they would do something like this. But unfortunately, there's shit people and there's bad people everywhere, and there's sometimes in our own backyards, and we don't want to. It's a tough pill to swallow. I also think that it's 2019, and we have to, as a society, hold everybody more accountable. We have to hold our heroes accountable, just like we would hold the pedophile next door accountable.
Our teachers, everyone.
Or teachers, or priests, or whoever. Like, we have to hold everybody accountable. There comes a point of, like, where there's a whole conversation of can you separate the art from the artist? And a lot of people in the past have, because and like guys like Brando got away with doing stupid shit his entire life because he was Brando. And
his entire life?
I mean, maybe not as a child.
No, but I'm saying, like, was that like, because from what I understand, that was in the later part of his career. But you're saying that I'm just making sure, because I can still watch a Streetcar Named Desire, but I can't watch.
You can't watch Last Tango in Paris.
Last Tango in Paris. Ugh,
but he did. But that's
a bad one.
Wait. I'm sorry. What did he do?
There's a
This is very triggering for her.
Yeah, this is a little triggering.
Okay, then no.
It's okay. I'm fine.
No, R. Kelly.
There's a scene.
John Mayer's a douche. John Mayer's a douche.
That's how bad the Brando thing is, that we gotta lighten things up with the R. Kelly story. No, R. Kelly. Go ahead, continue, please. PS somebody. PS somebody.
There's a very famous.
Can I nominate the name of this episode to Diary or Shit?
There's a very famous scene in one of his movies called Last Tango in Paris, where it's all about this, like, sexual experience of this, like, couple, this American girl, like, whatever. Anyway, no, I mean, he's American, she's French, whatever. But there's a scene where they're having sex, and he, like, lubes her ass up with butter. And
with a stick of butter.
With a stick of butter.
Yeah, because it'd be weird if it was a spread, right? That would be a weird. I can't believe it not butter spray, just a spray bottle.
It's country crock.
But anyway,
this is allowed in a movie.
This is in a film. This is a film from, like, the 70s, I want to say, or the 80s, the 70s or the 80s, I can't remember. And basically, like, he lubes her up with butter, and he puts it in her butt.
His penis, not the butter.
Well, the butter too.
The butter.
He uses the butter as lube and then slips it in his peen. I thought you
No, that's why I clarified, because the way I just wanted to clarify.
He used the butter, and then, like, he put the butter in her butt, and then he
put his penis in her butt.
72. 1972.
He did say it in an interview before he died.
And this is an NC-17.
Kind of went under the radar, and it was only like a couple of years ago that it came to light again, because Bernardo Bertolucci, who's the director of this film, was talking about it in another interview, where they came out and they admitted that the actress did not know that scene was planned, and they just did it. So they essentially raped her
on film
to get an honest reaction
out of her.
Their wording was, we wanted an honest reaction out of the actress, because that's what the character was going through.
Right.
So, you know.
So they didn't tell her that was going to happen to her.
This is like a fucked up Houdini.
I mean, it's like actual rape.
Yeah, on tape.
On film for people to see. Like, you can buy this movie
for money.
And you can watch it.
No.
It's gonna be the family shirt. Oh, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I'm kidding. I backed off of it. I moved on.
He stepped on it and then backed right.
Yeah,
he moonwalked.
Shit all over that.
He stepped on a Lego. He said, nope.
No.
He moonwalked right out of it.
But Brando was allowed to get away with shit because he did say this in the early 2000s. He admitted this in an interview, and it just nobody paid attention to it until a couple of years ago.
I mean, if Harvey Weinstein can do the shit he was doing, who was paying attention to Marlon Brando?
Oh my God! So I was listening.
Marlon Brando was the fucking biggest fucking thing.
No, I agree.
Not only literally, because towards the end of his career, he was literally the biggest fucking movie star on the planet. He was so massive.
Him
Jesus.
got away with things like that for years, and nobody batted an eye because they were who they were.
Yeah.
Well,
and we have to be better than that.
Yeah.
We have to hold everybody accountable.
Yeah,
agreed.
I heard recently.
100.
I've been listening to the Guys We Fucked podcast for a long time, but I'm like super behind.
The who?
Guys We Fucked. It's really good.
Oh, I thought that's what you said, but I was like, that can't be.
No, that's what it is. It's called the Guys We Fucked podcast. But when like the whole thing with Weinstein broke, one of their episodes, they spent 20 minutes reading every single allegation against him, and it took almost half an hour to get through the entire list of women that had come out against him.
And that's
the ones that were brave enough to come out and say
and that's something women came out against Cosby. By the time that he went to trial, it was like it was up in the 50s or 60s.
And
that's just the ones that spoke up.
Yeah.
And
he's quit smoking now, guys. Congratulations.
Who quit smoking?
No, he quit coffee.
Coffee, that's what it was. Coffee.
Who quit coffee?
Cosby in jail now doesn't drink coffee, and his now soon-to-be ex-wife, because they're in the proceeding of getting divorced.
Oh, they are? She finally
Yeah. She left before he left to jail. Before he left to physically go to jail, she left him.
She stood by him
she was the definition of the ride or die, bro. Not for nothing, but I was like, hey, you find yourself a good one, bro. When your wife stands next to you, next to 50 fucking rape allegations, goddamn, bro. That Jello pudding is fucking deep.
I think she wanted the fucking money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you could get half the money when you divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you half the empire.
Or you could get all of it when he goes to jail.
Right. But no, she left him. So the story came out that he doesn't really.
He has like a super healthy lifestyle now.
Super healthy lifestyle.
Oh, good for him.
And he doesn't drink coffee. And then his wife says,
She'd only been trying for like 55 years.
She's been trying to get him to stop drinking coffee for 50 years because it's bad for him. And I'm like, did you try getting him to stop raping women for 50 years? Because that would have been fucking helpful
Clearly,
to other people.
Failed at that too.
Yeah.
That would have been a little bit more helpful, Mrs. Cosby.
Well, anyway.
She failed at both endeavors.
I agree with you, Steph. I think that for non-famous people who could raise their hand and say me too, it's incredibly difficult because in your personal life you have to be aware that people are going to decide whether you're telling the truth or not.
Right.
And that's if
you have to make peace with that. You have to make peace with the fact that
that's if you're talking about sexual or physical abuse. If you're talking about emotional or psychological abuse,
forget it.
I mean, there's people that don't think that therapy is like there's a point to it, and I would vehemently disagree to that. But that's a different episode. So imagine like in your person, like me, a nobody, trying to talk about these things, or even trying to work the nerve up to say this is what happened to me, and I can't because I just can't bring myself to put myself through that. Now flip it where you're a woman and your job is to be is entertainment, is connection, is networking, and these very powerful institutions, not just the men, because you have to remember, like, they would be nothing if they did not have enablers.
No, I know.
So it's not just the guy who's being a creep. It's everyone who fucking knows about it and doesn't do anything about it. And that's when you get into the whole system of the patriarchy, where it's like it's a fucking system. It's a systemic situation where this is how it fucking works. So I would agree with you that we just have to do. I would say, like, if you're just a regular person, you would have to hold people accountable in your immediate circle.
Exactly.
But politicians and entertainers and athletes and everyone else, I think, unfortunately, that would have more influence. It would trickle down a lot easier if it started from up there, in my opinion.
Right.
When I creep, yeah.
Just keep it on.
Yeah, good luck listening to Pretty Young Thing now.
Dude, I'm not...
my favorite fucking
Yeah, it's my favorite. One of my favorite.
Yeah, it's probably about a little boy.
Well, now listen to the Kids Bop.
I said that for you. I've been making that joke for years about Pretty Young Thing. I'm like, it's a boy, right? Without talking about little boys. But I said that as a complete like joke, not thinking there was any truth behind it. And now,
it's like when people used to.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's when people used to make fun of Bruce Jenner, and then people like they had to get calls like, no, it's real. Stop joking about. Chelsea Handler said that she would make fun of him all the time on her show, and then they had to fucking call her and be like, no, it's gonna happen. Like stop the jokes. So.
Well, same thing happened this past week. I was on the ship, and every comedy club host has their own playlist on their phone that they put music on pre-show. And one of them was World's Greatest by R. Kelly.
Oh no! Yes,
I haven't heard that song in forever, and I started listening. That song came on. Right, I'm in the comedy club, and that song came on. And I'm like, oh man, I haven't heard the song in forever. I legit completely totally for a hot minute just forgot, and I was like, oh man, I haven't heard this song forever. And I started like, fucking like, man, this song is great. Started singing along to it, and then I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And then I literally did this. I Shazammed it. Because I was like, is this an R. Kelly song or a song that he's featured in? Trying to justify myself jamming. But here's the thing. And I'm like, so let me fucking... And I did it. And then it's only R. Kelly in the fucking song. And I'm like, fuck. And I tweeted about it. I was like, this guy, he first of all... He's a foreigner, right? He's I forgot what country he's from, but he doesn't speak English very well. And... he has no idea of the documentary that just dropped. He has no idea. Like, he has no idea what's going on. This is just to him a song on his playlist. And there's only one song out of, like, I'm sure 20 songs on a playlist. But I was like, dude, this is... Like, he has Mambo No. 5 on the fucking playlist. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like every song is like...
was a rapist.
Yeah. It's not like every song is fucking... but it's...
He's a player, no?
But... Well, I mean, you can make a song about...
You don't make a song about all the women you've had sex with without doing something.
But it's all with consent, you know.
Hopefully.
1, 2...
There's a BuzzFeed article... Sorry, not to cockblock your story, but there's a BuzzFeed article of, like, Lou Vega names 9 people in the Mambo No. 5. Can you name 7 of the 9 women? And I was like, why, BuzzFeed?
Why are we doing this, BuzzFeed?
Why?
Well, Missy and I were at IKEA on Friday, and they played an R. Kelly song with an MJ song right behind it, and we were like, what are you doing, IKEA?
Yeah, this is very... It was... But it was... And what bothered me is that I was jamming to the song before... Like, for, like, literally a minute. I was like, oh, when the moment it came on, I'm like, bro, I haven't heard this song in forever. And then I was like, yeah, all right. Like, for a minute. And I was like, and a minute seems... Like, a minute's a long time, right?
It's not okay for me to like this song.
It's not okay. And I was like, oh, my God, dude, this is so fucking... But this song was so fucking great.
Well, that just goes to show you, like, the culture, like, it's just white noise to us. We were raised on Michael Jackson music. We were raised on R. Kelly music. So it's like you have to, like, deprogram yourself from enjoying that stuff because it's not cool anymore.
Are we okay with it being erased from...
I don't think it's okay to erase it. I don't think that's just the equivalent of burning books.
Yeah,
that's the equivalent. You don't erase it. We don't have to. We don't have to. You know, put it in fucking, you know, popular things. We don't have to put it in movies, and we don't have to. We don't have to give him money.
Right.
But to erase it, that's. I wasn't happy with the whole Cosby thing. They did a documentary. NBC did the documentary. I think it was like their 50th anniversary or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. That went through the genesis of NBC, the National Broadcasting System, when it was
radio.
Mm-hmm. When it went through everything, it went through all the big arcs, it went through all those shows and blah blah, and they completely.
Did NBC have MASH? Or was it CBS?
I don't know. I'm not a MASH guy. I'm
not a MASH person either, but I know it's like the biggest show ever.
Yeah, right. You're right. I don't know. But they completely what's the word I'm looking for? When you leave something out.
Just like swept it under the rug?
Omitted. They completely omitted the Cosby. Anything related to Cosby. There was a point in time where Cosby was so big, the Cosby Show was so big, and Cosby himself was so big that he was literally and actually considering buying NBC because NBC was financially struggling, and he had more money than the fucking network.
No,
and the entire documentary
I feel like
omitted him out, and I was like, dude, you can't. Now you're just rewriting history, man.
I understand that, but I think if I'm not getting my timelines crossed, that may have been like way too close after everything breaking out.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't think it was, but I think I
think it was more of like of a PR, like this just happened, like we can't talk about it.
I totally I can see where their mindset was at, but to not even mention it I'm not saying give him any significant amount of time, or you giving him.
Oh, and the Cosby Show happened too.
Oh yeah, and they were like, and then there were great hits a lot. There were great hits like blah 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 blah. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the Cosby Show, and then, not even that, dude.
Right.
It's like, dude, to me, that's the equivalent of writing a history book, and you're only writing what you feel like. Now you're
you're editing history.
Editorializing.
Right.
Now that's not. I mean, if you're gonna give do a documentary, if you're gonna do a series about the history of, then give the fucking history of.
Right.
Like John.
There's bad shit that's happened in this country. For us to only teach our history class about the good things that this country has done is not correct either.
No,
imagine them saying we're going to skip over slavery because it was just a bad time in our history. Like, no, fucker. No, it doesn't
I don't know
work
that
that way.
this is true because I'm not German, but I've heard rumors that they don't teach about the Holocaust in Germany.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that it's just like we don't talk. I mean, again, I've never been to Germany. I don't know anybody that's from Germany. I could be totally stepping in a pile of shit.
Next time I work a ship, I will ask a German
I've heard
person.
that.
No, I'm serious.
I don't know that you should.
Why?
Just safety.
They're such a passive people.
But you know that I'm
a comedian on the ship. I'm pretty high up in the hierarchy. I don't know who you're wearing.
So many places you can hide on a ship.
There is I had to relearn everything that I learned about history, like our country's history, when I was in college. Because what they teach you up until I want to say middle school or high school, depending on who your teacher is not what happened. I didn't know about the internment camps after Pearl Harbor until college.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about a lot of the things like the class warfare that now, like when I was in college, all those years, but it was like this thing where it was a constant political conversation about class warfare, and I stepped into that argument thinking like, oh, this is just like a thing, like a strategy that people have that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100% that there has to be, we have to be honest about it. And I think that's what a lot of people, advocates, civil rights advocates will say, is that you have to be
for anything, any kind of atrocity in history.
Yeah, you have
I worked for Jews for almost a year, and their whole thing with the Holocaust is never forget, because when you forget, you repeat.
Right. And that's what I was getting at, is that if we're not as a people, forget forget like us as people, just as Americans, as members of this country, like if we're not completely honest about our history, then you get to run on platforms like immigrants are ever, and you don't have the context that
bunch of bad men.
Yeah, like this is our or this issue with religion. Like, why did the Pilgrims come here? Because of religious persecution. So why are we repeating that? Did we not learn? So that's what I'm saying, is that all of those things are important, I would say, and I would hope that that's the direction that we're moving in. Even though half the country is dragging ass, but we got. I mean, it has to happen.
I find myself constantly surprised that I went to Catholic school my whole life, and I went to Catholic schools that taught the bad side of history. I learned. A lot of people ask me that don't know Catholic schools, ask me if I learned about evolution. I know that now as an adult that Christian schools don't teach, that some Christian schools don't teach it. But I learned about evolution, and I learned about the 7-day Bible thing. But I also learned about about the Civil War and slavery and Brown versus Board of Education and the Civil Rights Movement and the Holocaust. We spent weeks in.
Was that a real school you went to?
Why would it be?
It's a joke. The previous thing that you went to school.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus. It's obviously a real school if you're learning all this. This is.
No, she went to the school of Google. It was a real school.
The school of Wikipedia.
Don't ever doubt Wikipedia is a real source, and don't you ever in your life.
Any Joe Blow in the toilet can just edit Wikipedia. It's fine.
Yeah, but the fact that it's allowed as references in college papers is disturbing.
When I was in college,
or certain high schools.
I got in trouble.
Rare.
I got in trouble for trying to use Wikipedia. Now they allow it because now you.
That's such a layered joke. Because it could be catty, but it could be a tiger at a party.
Tiger in the bathroom.
Yeah. He wasn't stressed.
Halftime. That was a halftime joke.
I was like, oh, it's funny. Oh no.
So, I mean, I don't know where I was going with my point. But.
No, but the
I just think it's different.
We learn things.
I just think it's. I just think it's a slippery slope when you start deleting things from history.
Yeah, it is.
And I think again, it's art, and especially being an artist, I have to believe this. Like, it's an art form. Like, you know. It's the equivalent of somebody, you know, we find out that you know, name a fucking painter, who cares, you know,
they're all fucking perverts.
Michelangelo is one of the ones that's like controversial.
Well, he was a party dude, so I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happens when we party too much.
Yeah, that's a thing. He's a party dude. But
Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo's a party dude.
Oh,
but he's also a painter.
I thought it was like the fourth wall thing that you guys always bring up. Never mind.
No.
I thought it was an inside joke.
No, it's based upon the cartoon, popular cartoon series.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yes, all the time.
Or the 0.2%?
I get more points for that. I tried to.
She tried to find out how much of a childhood
I actually tried to do statistics the other day. I was like, let me find out.
Why would you do this year?
Because I'm bored. I just want to find out. It was my lunch break. I just want to find out.
I wanted working from home that day.
No. I wanted to find out, like, if I could calculate the percentage quantify how much
you missed.
Yeah, so I pulled up a BuzzFeed article that had like 55 toys of your childhood that would blow your mind.
That nostalgia that will play it, like, oh, nostalgia.
And then I had to do the math, and I got like 2.1% childhood based off of that article. But I told her,
but you can't go just upon the toys that you had, because I was poor, but I knew of all the toys.
Right.
I didn't know any of them.
On the Goldbergs, I saw an episode.
That's why I scored
where they had the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier thing.
Yeah.
And we know somebody that still has his aircraft carrier from back in the day.
David David?
The fact that David had his, I was like, that's what.
David doesn't have it.
He had it.
No, he didn't.
He did have it.
I asked him about it because our
Well, he lied on Geekmore then.
Well, he lied on Geekmore, and I'm calling him out.
I'm clutching my pearls.
We have a friend of ours, Lincoln's little friend from school. His dad is a big nerd, and he still has it.
Can I ask you a question? That phrase, little friend, my brothers fucked with me so much throughout my entire life. And I would always be like, hey, I heard, and you know how back in the days that we didn't have any sources, any Google, we didn't have any of that?
Or Wikipedia.
So back in the days, I was always like, hey, I heard that so-and-so is coming out with a new movie, or I heard whatever rumor you heard. So I would be like, I heard this and that. And when it was something that my brothers flat out didn't believe, whether it was true or not, whether it ended up being true or not, my brothers would always go, who told you that? One of your little friends? And it would always be one of your little friends. And for all my life. And then I got to like high school, and I was like, you know, my little friends are the same size you are. Like, that's what the fuck are we talking about now? Like, why are they? And then it was just like, that was their way of waving me off. I'm like, yeah, you're one of your little friends. And I just thought it was funny that you brought up one of Link's little friends. I'm like,
because they're little.
Yeah. But you know, it's so funny to me how they're little friends.
Just like my mom and D-Sing, which translated in English means they said. These saying that this, and I'm like, bitch, just don't listen to these thing anymore. Like, they're just complicating my life. Yeah.
But yeah, I just, don't delete the art. Just don't support it.
I agree with you. I don't think that we need to like ignore the fact or like pretend like he didn't exist and ignore all of the things. But I think we also,
because if we pretend that he didn't exist, aren't we pretending that what he didn't happen?
To a degree, yes. But that's what I'm saying. We also need to take the good with the bad. Like, yeah, he made all these songs are fucking fantastic.
Not all of them. That Trapped in the Closet was fucking awful.
I'm not talking about
MJ.
Oh, MJ. Oh, yeah. Not all of them either. Blood on the Dance Floor is ugh.
Okay, well, he has all these really great songs.
Dirty Diana.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Smooth Criminal is my favorite of all time.
Slash is on that song, on Dirty Diana. But yeah, like there's this whole catalog of amazing music that he made, sure. But while he was doing all of this, he was also raping little boys.
like if we're gonna talk about him, we should talk about him completely.
Correct.
Like, he influence pop culture and music, and was he a great performer? Yes. Was he more than likely fucked up in the head and touching, doing fucked up things and enabled by a system that allowed that because of the power that he had, and not just his name, in the notoriety and his money? Yes. So it's like, it's like two sides of the same coin. We have to, you can't, if you erase one, you're erasing the other.
Right.
What he was saying.
And that's the only thing, is that, like, yeah, sure, he's fantastic musician. He's also a fucking child molester.
He's also a monster.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like calling him a monster because it puts like people like, oh, like,
yeah.
Like I said it to my friend.
It's a strong word.
It's a strong word, and I'm like, no, but it's fit. Like you touch children, you're a monster. Like I don't give a fuck.
No, the lowest of the low in prison.
I don't give a fuck how talented you are at doing whatever else you're doing.
Yeah.
You're a monster, right? Like that's that's a fucking thing. So
anyway, if we can end on a light.
Are we gonna end on that?
No. We should end on
let's end on something light, like R. Kelly.
Like one day at a time.
Let's not talk about Brando. Let's talk about R. Kelly.
That was the best.
I'll never look up
Happy
Butter
thoughts.
the same
Happy
again.
thoughts. R. Kelly. Pee. Urine. I want to pee on you.
I thought I was trying to pivot.
A midget in the cabinet, guys.
Anyway, if on a lighter note, if you had this completely like off topic, but if you haven't already given One Day at a Time a chance, please give it a chance.
Seriously, it needs to come back.
Because Netflix is on the fence about renewing it for a 4th season, and it's so funny and it's so great, and it just needs a few more views. And Vanessa and I are single-handedly trying to do it, but we need your help.
I've decided that now when I rewatch it, I'm just going to rewatch from different accounts so that I can bump it up. My own little like nudge.
I only have myself in my account. Womp womp. But yeah, so I think that would be fun.
I think you should watch it.
So
my PSA for the day.
Yeah, you guys.
We need more Hispanic family shows.
Yeah. I don't understand. Maybe this is too heavy, but I don't get why people are upset that
heavier than pedophilia.
No. Why
butter rape?
No. Why are people? No, I'm never gonna be able to look up Butter the Same ever again. Ruined. Why is it an issue that the family, like One Day at a Time is a remake of but this time it's a Hispanic family who they're all supposed to be Cuban, but none of the cast is Cuban, and the people have like an issue with that. I don't understand because at this point, representation is representation.
In the chat, you just say
I don't have like I'm not
bothered you.
like really upset about it, but like for the same issue, this was brought up when the similar issue was brought up when the Versace show was gonna.
Don't you mean Versace?
Yes, when it was gonna be released last year or the year before, where they casted Italian characters, like Italian people that actually lived, like were all played by Latino actors.
There's a movie about the Chilean miners, and there's not one Chilean actor on there, and I still supported it.
The argument is that like if you go to Italy, there's Italian cinema. It's a thing. If you go to Italy, I'm sure you could have found
an Italian actor.
Great actors to play Gianni Versace, Donatella Versace, whatever.
Agreed.
That maybe
how many people look like lizards though? I mean, you gotta like be a great actor and look like a dried up tomato.
It's a method. It's a method thing.
Donatella Versace a huge favor by casting Penelope Cruz to play
that was an upgrade.
That was like a major upgrade because Donatella has not
because looks like the fucking Ninja Turtle.
Right.
She looks like a Muppet.
Yeah, she looks like
she looks like the Muppet of a Ninja Turtle.
No, she looks like the Muppet that's in the Dr. Toothpan that has the long blonde hair. That's what she looks like.
Oh my god, yes, she fucking does.
Yes, she does.
But anyway,
like that wasn't even funny. I was like, no, that's very accurate.
That's a real thing.
But at this rate, like I get where you're going. Like it's my argument that it pissed me off too when the Chilean miner movie was made. It was a major motion picture, not one Chilean actor, and there are Chilean actors.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I know that there's Chilean cinema. Just like I mean, it's
not great, but they exist.
But they exist.
It's there.
It's the point that they exist, and I'm sure you can find of the hundreds of people that are actors, quote unquote, in Chile. I'm sure you can find 12 of them that could be good enough to be in a movie. And I think that's the point. That's the only point that I was trying to make with One Day at a Time. It's like I appreciate that they're all Hispanic, that they're all Latino, and I get that.
Well, that's how I feel about Jane the Virgin, though, because Jane the Virgin is a Venezuelan family, and not one of those people are Venezuelan. They even have like extras in a random episode that they're like, "Oh, we're from Venezuela," but they're speaking Spanish, and I'm like, that is a Mexican accent,
right?
Like I can fucking hear it,
right?
And it it really bothers me because the Venezuelan accent is very specific.
Yeah, it is.
So
being from Miami, where Cubans are everywhere, and I can
my family.
I can throw rocks and hit 45 Cuban actors. Like, I just think that you could,
I just hit one.
that's not what I meant, but like
I think she was talking about good ones though.
fuck you.
We're having such a good night.
It's not what I meant. It's not what I meant.
I know what she. That's why I knew.
Jenny Lorenzo. There's tons of people that could play the role. I understand what you're saying.
Like, just
We
if
all
you're,
did.
If
We were
you're,
just
if
having
you're gonna
fun.
go, if you're gonna say that this family or this character is from somewhere, like, give the shot to somebody that's
Isn't
actually
the
from
grandpa Cuban?
I don't know.
Berto?
I mean,
I think
and
so.
listen, I love Rita Moreno. Like, I love Rita Moreno, but she's Puerto Rican, which, I mean, is Cuban adjacent.
It's
but
right there. They're next
it's
door
right there.
neighbors.
You know, but
So I don't. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Like,
that's really my only point. I'm not like pissed about it.
but I would also argue that representation is to my knowledge has only become an issue like recently where
Yes.
people are conscious about it. So can I get another few seasons of the show before we start we worry about casting like
I am
absolutely
right. So that's what I'm saying is that I can't bring myself to have an issue on it right now when one day at a time is to my knowledge the only fully like the only Hispanic I can watch this show and I can relate the fuck out of it. There's an episode about there and last season there was an episode on mental health that was phenomenal. Justina Machado got nominated. This season they brought in like the same issue, but they brought the daughter in, and then they brought like a drug addiction. Like these are conversations that need to be had, and they need to be told from a Hispanic perspective.
I agree with you.
So
listen, I've only seen the pilot episode, and I saw the premiere episode of this last season, the funeral episode, and they had a whole joke about La Mantilla, and like I've literally heard my mom and her sisters and all my aunts in my family have that same conversation. Like, I understand that it's really, but it's not a show that I've gotten into. I've tried to get into it. It's not my thing. And that's not, it doesn't mean that, that I hate it. I mean, it's
just watch it, have it on in the background so they get a hit. That's all I'm asking you to do.
So
I don't even ask you to like it. Just watch.
But
just have it on.
that was really my only point. Like, I greatly appreciate that. Like, they didn't whitewash this cast. Like, I get that. Like, it's totally.
To me, that's the only thing that matters.
Yes,
that's the only thing that matters. That they didn't whitewash their cast. To me, I think this goes to what's always said up amongst the Hispanic community. We are the most racist towards each other. That we are more racist towards each other than white people are towards us as a generality. That's it bothers the hell out of me. That it really, there's a hierarchy depending on geographically where you are. There's a hierarchy in the Hispanic community. If you're in South Florida, Cubans are number one, and they think everybody else is beneath them.
Correct.
And they honestly believe that.
Venezuelans are sneaking up.
And then you get Venezuelans who
are racist as fuck.
And that's what I was about to say. And then you have Venezuelans who think they're sneaking up on Cubans, and they're not. And they're fucking not. And
I'm not taking my town.
And they're not. And then you go to
fucking
and then you go to LA, and it's all about La Raza. It's all about Mexico, and it's all about. Not only is it all about that, because I'm all for pride in your country. It's all for pride in your heritage. But the fact that you're not. But it's the fact that you're knocking down others who are not for not being the same type of Hispanic that you are is fucking bananas.
Came from Spain.
It's fucking bananas. It bothers the shit out of me. I've always thought this. I've made fun of Cubans because I live in Miami. So if I was in Mexico, if I was in LA, I would think the same thing about Mexicans. Everybody thinks that you think you guys own fucking everything. Like it's a thing with me that it really bothers me. So when you have a TV show that has representation of Hispanic people played by Hispanic actors, I don't give that. To me, it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a huge win.
It is
and
a
to
win.
me,
therefore you need to watch it.
I don't disagree that it's a win.
If you are Hispanic,
I don't disagree.
And I'm not even the biggest fan of this.
Your last name ends with a Z.
I'm not even a particular fan of this particular show. I'm not. I'm a huge fan of Rita Moreno, so that's a thing. But to me, it's like I don't like when the whole thing happened with the Chilean minor movie happened. And they talked about that. Like it was briefly mentioned amongst my friends. It's not a Chilean actor. Antonio Banderas is playing a Chilean actor. Like he's playing a Chilean minor. And I was like, it's more unbelievable he's playing a minor than he's playing fucking Chilean. To be honest with you. So that to me is a thing. I'm like, it's played by Hispanics. Take the fucking win. Like take the W. Like it bothers me. It really does. It's very triggering to me because maybe I'm portraying. Maybe I'm projecting because I'm from Nicaragua and I'm not at the top of a hierarchy in any fucking town in any city. So maybe I'm just like
you are in
projecting
Sweetwater.
in Sweetwater, yeah. So maybe I'm projecting at the fact of my frustration of like, you're not better than me just because your parents were born somewhere. Like, we're all Hispanics. We're all fucking not white. We're all lesser than the white man in this fucking country. So why don't we all fucking get together and like, fucking make moves and make this fucking happen? To me, I've tried to, and again, I've talked about this in the past. Like, I just don't like fucking men that I don't like Madea, like Madea. Like, I don't like Madea movies. But like, I will go see a black movie. Love Jones is one of my fucking favorites, and the Hood is one of my The Wood is one of my favorite. So, but to me, any type of project, especially in Hollywood, that is based upon, that has a lot of minorities in it, like, that's a win. Let's fucking do it. That's a win. Crazy Rich Asians, that's a fucking win, dude. I
was about to bring up Crazy Rich Asians because Crazy Rich Asians is Chinese Singaporean, is like the base of like the cast, but there were people that were casted that are not Chinese. The main guy is half Chinese. He's half Chinese, half British, and there was a whole like uproar about the fact that like there are certain people in the cast that were neither Chinese nor from Singapore. So like the argument is made
across the board because now
recently it's at the forefront.
Well, also I think it was last week that Will Smith was announced to be playing Serena and Venus Williams' father in a biopic.
And he's old enough to be their
he's 50.
Their dad.
He's 50.
I know.
And
this is his 50th year.
But also and then there was immediate controversy because this is legit. This is something I pulled from the Twitter, so I'm not inventing this. But there's controversy about him being cast because he's not the right skin color, which is funny to a certain extent.
Is he lighter than
because because the Red Table
lighter than them.
But Jada Pinkett Smith, the Red Table had a conversation, an entire conversation about this, on how, and Blackish, if you guys don't watch that show, I would give it a shot.
That's on my list after
Blackish is fucking great, and they covered this. They dedicated an entire episode to this issue.
I think it's called Ross is half white.
I think it's called colorism. If I'm saying the wrong phrase, I apologize. But it's this concept where even within the African American community,
for years.
You are, and it's because historically, if you were of lighter skin, you were probably inside the house, and if you were of darker skin, you were probably picking cotton. So there's historical ties to it. But to Neri's point, it's like, but it's a topic that we need to have amongst each other, but in the grander scheme of we're all exactly he hit the nail on the head. Like we're all lesser than the white man in this country. We're not running shit yet, so. If I can,
we're running Amazon.
Can I have?
We're running shit in 2 days.
Can I have a few more?
Really, isn't that an appropriate job for us?
Yeah.
Can I have a few? Can I have a few more? Listen, my mom is from Chile. My dad is from Cuba. And I'm fucking lesser than. If I walk into certain households and I declare myself a Cuban, they'll fucking laugh in my face and tell me to get the fuck out because I'm a tira flecha.
But this
I'm
is
not
not
Cuban.
about going to Stephanie's house. We're talking about right now.
But do you know what I mean? And that shit, that's been said to my face on several occasions.
Well, yeah. I'm very much the same way on the ships. On the ships, when I talk to other Hispanics, I'm American. I have been told that I'm American. I'm like, I'm not denying my Americanism, but I'm also Hispanic, and I speak Spanish. I have friends that work on ships that are from Mexico, from Brazil, who, when they have made the assumption that I did not speak Spanish, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Mexico, and I speak Spanish, and I'm the only one here who speaks Spanish." I had a Brazilian woman tell me that, and I was like, "What?" I'm sorry, what? Did you fucking just say to me?
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I started talking in Spanish. She's like, "You speak Spanish?" I was like, where the fuck did you think I was from? Like, what do you? And they were like, and it literally said this to me.
A Middle Eastern vibe.
But no.
It's the.
But I do. But I do understand that. But that's still a fucking thing,
And I will say this much, and this is fact. This is fact for me, for my Chilean. This is, and I'm not trying to. This is true. For my Chilean family, I'm Cuban. I'm not Chilean.
Yeah.
I don't have any contact with the Cubans, but I still feel very much a connection to my Cuban side. But I'm not Cuban. If I walk into a fully Cuban house, I'm not. And then I am American, but I am fucking lesser than everybody in this country because I have. So it's this thing where we all carry to a certain extent.
Take the fucking
of some kind of issue with our cultural identity, but the fact that we're on fucking Netflix, like we could have been on PBS.
Yeah.
You know, can I have a few more episodes?
Hey, Pasa USA.
I fucking love that show.
Show's great.
But what I'm saying is that can I have a few more seasons of the show where I'm seeing people that look like me? I don't fucking care if she goes
they
home.
have real problems. They have like real family problems.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I texted Vanessa and I. Well, Chrissy watches it too, but I texted Vanessa during one of these episodes where it hits so close to home what they're talking about, and I've never fucking seen that shit. A Hispanic mom on a sitcom confronting her mental issues and then comforting her daughter who's having the same issues as she is, and they're like, I've never seen a story like that. It's the same thing with the storyline of the father, the feature with Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer. I don't get fucking feature films about my story in that context, so I'm gonna fucking watch it several times. You know what I mean?
I totally understand that, and I again, I'm on board for the representation. I'm just saying, I'm just saying to just give the chance to.
It's like me in reboots. Just fucking hire new people.
But look, to your point where you say that you feel good about seeing Hispanic actors that look like you, there's not, I mean, and I get that this might be like a privilege thing or whatever, but there's not Hispanic actors that look like me at the forefront. And I'm a little bit more white.
Oscar Isaac, he's a white. He's played white guys, and he's Cuban. I'm not. This isn't a joke. I'm saying what? Why are we looking at me?
He's not blonde.
Because is she naturally blonde?
There it is.
I didn't. I wasn't even making a joke. They fed me a fucking joke, and now you're mad at me. And now you're mad at me.
Now you're mad. It's cardio.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
But I legit believe that. I'm like, there are white guys that just like Mike Mercadal is a white Cuban. There's a white.
Technically, the daughter on One Day at a Time, she is a light skinned Hispanic.
But there are people from Mexico that look more like me than they look like Neri, and they're from Mexico or from South America. Or
my friend Gigi.
Wherever.
My friend Andrea.
My friend Gigi looks white as fuck. She has blonde hair, and she's forever and a day. She's the most white girl looking Cuban you've ever fucked. Like if it wasn't for her ass,
that girl in the middle is Cuban. Is Mexican.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, and but I guess like let's my point is like let's get our foot in the door, and then
I fully believe that like One Day at a Time will be for whatever show comes behind it will be like the Ellen to the Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Like it's doing and things like before Jane the Virgin there was Ugly Betty, you know, like where a Hispanic woman.
And before that we had Soraya.
Before that we had Soraya, but she wasn't Spanish, so she was directly to her market. So, but there was Ugly Betty that was a Hispanic female lead on primetime television for years. You know what I mean? So there are things.
America Ferrera has done a lot for the whole representation movement. So I just think that the point is give the fucking show a chance. I know you already have like a laundry list of shows you need to catch up on, but
while you're doing
if you haven't,
just have it on.
If you're listening and you haven't given it a chance, it would be great if you did.
Yeah. Well, going back to like the whole like Hispanic girls that are white, my cousins on my dad's side, they are light, like just like you, like turn red in the sun, like they don't turn brown.
I don't tan. I wish they did.
They don't tan. They turn red. And
I was in the sun for an hour this week.
Shut the fuck up.
That's legit anger. That is legit.
Why you tan too?
Yeah, but he
what happens to me if I'm in the sun for an hour?
So much nicer.
Not only that,
I am the color of that jacket if I'm in the sun for an hour.
We've gone to the beach together, and I have purposely dragged my fucking beach chair to under the sun, under the tree to fucking get shade because I'm like, it's fucking too hot. I don't like being hot.
Myself in oil.
And she covers herself in oil with a reflecting glass, and literally
not as quickly as him.
Not only that. An hour later, I'll be like, this is too hot for me. I'm fucking leaving. And then I'll go. She'll stay for another, not exaggerating, another 2 to 3 hours longer than me Again, I wasn't even in the sun. We'll get back, and the next day, I'm like fucking brown, and I'm like toasty. I'm like, ooh, my skin's a little warm. And she's like, fuck you,
And I look and I'm like, I don't even have a fucking tan line.
God, you really don't.
Yeah.
I wish
I
for
also
you.
didn't go on the cruise with him.
I wish for you a tan line tomorrow.
Thank you.
I don't know what tan lines are.
Oh, I love
Because you get red and you don't tan.
Oh, I tried red
tan.
also.
But I don't like to because
I love tan.
I get like I feel like now I could pass for white, like just skin color. But if when I turn mulatto, like I turn super tan super fast.
I mean, it's and
not that I don't like. Sorry, let me finish my thought. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I look a lot more like my dad when I do, and daddy issues. So I just stay under the tree.
I mean, it's not my fault. It is not my fault that my Cuban family is only one generation off of northern Spain, which shares lineage with like
the Irish.
with like the Irish.
Is
and the
William
Scots.
Wallace in your
tan
with the Irish and the Scots, and like my and it's not just me. My whole family is as white as me. So it's
You mean the family that was
right,
switched?
the family that raised me.
That
Right.
raised it, right.
Neri met my mom the other day.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, because we went to breakfast and she happened to be.
Did she
in the
throw
same
wire
restaurant.
hangers at you?
The mom. Listen, let me tell you something.
That was funny because it's true.
Vanessa immediately was like, "Oh my god!" And she ran to the. We sat in the booth next to them.
Run is an exaggeration. I walked.
She walked swiftly. She walked swiftly.
Where were you guys?
Sergio's.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "Oh my god, come on!" And then she was like that. And then me and Sophie were getting into the booth, and she's like, "Look who it is!" And Sophie looked at me and goes, and I was like, "Oh." Like I literally, I was like,
He looked at my 7-year-old to be like, "Who's fucking?"
No, but our 7-year-old looked at me and was like, Papi, I don't like, and I was like, I don't, like literally, I was like, I don't know, bro.
They grunted at each other.
Yeah, I was just like, fucking move on and just keep fucking moving forward. Like, I'm not gonna make her go kiss somebody. I don't fucking. I'm like, just go fucking just sit down, just sit down. So she comes over.
So nice.
Her mom comes over. Stephanie's mom comes over and goes, Mary, how are you? And I was like, hey,
Did you remember? Just like he did to Fanny at the movie.
How are you doing?
He's met my mom maybe like twice before this,
and when I say
in like public situations.
and passing,
yeah,
very
like
much
a drive-by high.
No, very
No,
much.
like at his
It's both
children's baptisms.
on my child's baptism, one of my child's baptism,
You know,
there
where
was
her husband
100
baptized
people
her
there.
children?
There were her husband was. You act like if she was standing next to her husband while the baptism was happening. That's not wasn't fucking
you know who
happening.
my dad is.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I can spot your fucking dad in the crowd and be like, "Hey, you're fucking Stephanie's dad." I absolutely.
What's his name?
I don't know his name. The fucking guy with the ponytail. I know the guy with the ponytail. I fucking know the guy with the ponytail.
the one in the robe.
The guy with the fucking ponytail. I don't. No, I gotta do is play some bitchin' ass classic rock, and the one jamming out,
You're
that's
like,
fucking
it's
him.
your
That's
one.
fucking him. So,
so fucking accurate.
so I know her dad. I can know her dad. I know her dad. Her dad baptized my children, blah, blah. But just because your husband baptized my children doesn't mean I know you.
Yeah, my mom doesn't baptize people like through osmosis.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It never happens. It's the equivalent of
She
like.
has very distinct red hair.
It's
though.
again. You're saying this because you know her.
You've known
So
her
I
for,
met
like,
her.
half your life.
I met her twice.
Since
apparently
2001.
twice, and they were both
Allegedly.
and they were both at parties
Oh.
with over 100 people. Now the second party, David's party, had like maybe 30 people, but it was a tight confined space. You were there at that party, at David's party. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about good things. Peeing on people. People are peeing.
R. Kelly's gonna pee on you.
So I met her and I said hi and bye. That's literally, it was like, hey, hi, thanks for coming. I said that to 100 people that day. What the fuck? I mean, really, I'm supposed to remember who the fuck you are? So then at breakfast, she was like, oh my God. I'm like, hey, you. And I give her the pistols, the little finger pistols.
And then she walked away.
And then, and then she goes, this is how I know. She goes, to my daughter, Vanessa goes, this is Titi Stephanie's mom. And I go, oh. And then I was like,
in your head or out?
No, in my head. And then I was like, and I looked at my wife. I looked at Vanessa and I was like, are you sure? Because she fucking looks nothing like Stephanie. Are you? And then she walked away. And then the moment she walked away, I looked at her and I go, well, I'm not lying. I go, oh yeah, Stephanie's right. She was adopted. She was switched at birth or some shit. That's not her mom. That's not. That's the lady who raised her.
Because my mom was definitely pregnant with somebody.
Well, how do you know? You don't know.
I've seen pictures.
Okay, and.
Like they could have been Mikey.
No, my brother wasn't in them, and she had different hair when she was pregnant. Quote unquote.
Wait! Your brother was never in your mom?
Yes.
he wasn't in the
pictures where my mom was pregnant with my brother, and my mom did not always have red hair. She dyed her hair red before she got pregnant with my brother. So when she was allegedly pregnant with me, she had like dark hair but with like blonde highlights. So
now I can see the resemblance.
Anyway,
I would argue, I mean, we're talking about that because for the longest time, everyone was talking up and down how Link looked exactly like Dave. He looks exactly like you.
He looks like me.
I don't think he looks like either one of them.
So here's the thing. Thing that baffles me about this whole thing, and I think proves further why I was switched at birth, because my mom was pregnant with somebody, but I just think they got the wrong baby. Like, there's somewhere out there a family that's like has no feelings and doesn't cry, that's missing their child. It's
Rosie. Rosie from the
raising a child that is super emotional and whatever. But anyway, you personally, more than anybody at this table, Missy, knows how strong the Ulloa genes are.
Yeah. They's not to be fucked
with. Knew.
Because of the big feet, the hairy feet?
Certain in my core, in the soul of my soul.
Because from Middle Earth?
That that Lincoln was going to look just like them.
No, you won, babe.
And I won.
Yeah, I lost that battle.
Those genes aren't like strong in my family because people don't really look like each other. They kind of look like their own versions of like.
I don't even think the only thing that Aya and your mom, Aya's Stephanie's grandmother, Aya and your mom
dyed red hair.
Yes,
but it's artificial hair.
I was trying to approach it in a very nice way,
it's
but
artificial color. Like it's not even their real color. They just happen to dye their hair the same color. It's real hair. It's like, you know what I mean. Anyway, so when Lincoln,
that's unbelievable.
When Lincoln comes out looking like just like me, I'm like, wait 1 second, because I don't have strong
Happy
genes.
birthday, BFF.
I was gonna say that, but you were like in your very like emotional, like one day at a time speech, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait.
I was waiting until like the end to be like, oh, by the way.
No, sorry. I was actually showing you the Mary Poppins is in the family shirt. Not that it's my birthday.
Oh, really? I thought you were showing me the picture of the dark man, or the dark man next to you.
Shut up! That's my grandfather.
I'm giving you the example of I thought that's what you were showing me, that people could come from the same family, not the same color. Holy shit!
Your pre-order of Mary Poppins.
I'm sorry. Did you expect me to read over a picture?
Yes.
Did you expect him to read?
Yeah.
He can read.
There's a picture.
No,
I'm looking at the picture first and going like, oh, this is correlates to the conversation we're currently having.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill your buzz.
No, it's okay. So when Link was born, and like a little by little, as he starts like actually looking like a person, and he's starting to look like
not
me,
a human blob.
I'm like, okay,
whose face lights up every time Mickey Mouse comes on the screen.
That's real though.
No,
not at 3 months
old.
Not
at 3 months old, honey. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
And that wasn't a dig at Lincoln, and it wasn't a dig at Stephanie.
It was at Dave.
Oh, shut up. I was going to leave that one. I was going to leave it blank, man.
I'm drunk. I haven't had dinner and I drank some wine. Sorry.
I'm like, so
I love you, BFF Dave.
Clearly, I have somebody's genes that are not the people that raised me,
but at least
my son looks like me.
Yeah, he does.
So, in conclusion,
did you ever get a DNA test? I
did get a DNA test.
No.
Oh, I did like the 23andMe.
Yeah. Get a DNA test with your parents.
You're saying they Khloe Kardashian'd you?
Yes.
I don't understand why I don't understand. Like, I would legitimately want to know. And this isn't again. And this isn't a dig at your parents, because if they raise you, that's a great thing.
Parents,
like, I don't. They're your parents. They're always going to be your parents.
I think they think that I'm their biological.
No, they don't.
Oh, so you think that they don't even know that the hospital fucked up?
I just think the hospital fucked up, and it is what it is.
No, but I think your parents. I think your parents know. They're not gonna say it. You know what I mean? Like if that
on their deathbed, they'll confess.
Maybe they had like a "this is us" situation.
No, but
maybe their baby died, and then somebody abandoned you at the hospital, and they're like, "All right, we'll just take that one."
Right. We'll just take that one. Do you have another one in a?
Possible.
We'll just take that one.
Possible title.
No, I believe that your parents didn't have anything to do with it. But I believe that as you got older throughout your life, they were like,
this is not ours.
Yeah, one of these is not like the other.
Ours.
No, one of these is not like the other, and something happened, but they don't want to admit that to themselves.
Maybe not.
And they definitely won't admit it to you.
No.
But
this is like a legit theory you have. I thought you were just being funny.
Yeah.
No. She has a legit.
This is something she thought about.
My grandparents. I've looked at pictures of my great grandparents. Todo lo chino de mi abuela, like nothing.
She has told me this for a long time, and again, I met her mom last week, and I was like, the first thing I said when her mom went back to her table, the first thing I looked at Vanessa and I was like, she's right. She's not, like, I wasn't even joking though. I was like, no, she's right. That's not her mom. That's not.
But like, even like things like in my body type that are not like anybody else in my family. I have like 9 first cousins. I have like 20, 30 extended cousins family. Like nothing.
Well, I know that I don't look.
Where does this Barbra Streisand Junos come from, guys?
Barbra
Maybe
Streisand.
your mom's Barbra Streisand.
Oh my god.
See, like that's what I'm saying. Like on a serious note, I would definitely get a DNA test, not to prove that my parents are not my parents, because your parents are always going to be your parents.
Right.
They raised you. They're fine. I would, if it were me, and again, it's fucking easy for me to say because I look exactly like my dad. As if it was me, I would want to know. Like, I was like, if I had that belief that you clearly have that vehement belief that you are not, I would need to know. I would get a DNA test. I'm not saying a genetic test. I'm not saying a 23andMe testing. I'm saying we're gonna get a paternity and fraternity. Like, we're gonna get a test to fucking, like.
I also don't. I mean, I could also be just an amalgamation of a bunch of recessive genes and just happen to not look like anybody. Like, it's a thing because there are people in my family that look like each other, but it's just it could also be that I just happen to be like the little things of a bunch of different little people throughout the years, whatever, that it just kind of came together. That's also very possible. But yeah, I mean, but then I also question the whole like nature versus nurture thing, because like I have similar traits of like in my personality of my father, but that could also be because he raised me, so therefore he. Like, it's nurture. It's nurture and not nature.
Yeah, no, that has a lot.
That's a thing.
There's a lot of anxiety, anxious energy in my family from the adults when I was a child. So nobody's caught on to that though. I'm totally a freak of nature for being weird.
No,
but
you're the only one with the problem.
Of course. Well, the other thing that I was going to mention is that I found out a few years later.
They're Hispanic.
I found out a few years ago that my grandmother is actually not my mom's mom, like through DNA. Yeah, it turns out that my grandfather had a relationship that resulted in my mom, and the lady left, and my grandfather raised my mom by himself for I think 6 or 7 years, and then met my grandmother, and then they kind of like they got together, and then they started a new family on their own. But for the longest time, I was suspect because I was like, dude, none of my cousins and I look alike. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And so it's possible, but it doesn't change the fact that my grandmother's not my grandmother.
It's not going to change anything. And like, really, at the end of the day,
you just want to know.
Really, like,
you just want to know.
I do want to know. I would like to know, but like, I don't.
But my mom needs to die
to have.
I would. Yeah.
That's the other thing is like, I would feel bad doing it while my parents are alive.
Yeah, my mom needs to die for me to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to share the information with them. I'm not asking.
How am I going to get their DNA, Neri?
What?
Pull her hair off her head.
What the fuck? What?
Oh no!
Or like one of the times she spits in you, you just fucking take that saliva and you fucking take a swab and you just go like that. Okay, and you.
Wow, this got.
Neri, what's that Halloween costume on for? Oh my god, that's so weird.
What is
my dad just sent me a picture of himself. There's like, I don't know, 30 years ago, 20. Yeah,
he doesn't look. You guys don't look a lot. Do you think you look a lot alike now?
I mean,
for the 30 seconds I met him, I didn't catch a twinsy vibe.
Yeah, I think we look alike. I
was kind of caught off guard.
Yeah, you're also a weird dude saying hi to you in the house.
Well, I was also like, I think it was a two-way thing because I was coming here and nobody was here, and he was like, "Why are you walking to my son's house?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
the point is,
one day when my parents pass, maybe I'll do it.
The point is, watch one day at a time.
I think your dad would be okay with it.
I think my dad would be okay with it.
I think what you're really saying is when your mom passes.
I think she's definitely dying before my dad. She stresses herself out way too much.
Yeah, I think. But when you said one day when my parents pass, I'm like, I think it's really you're just waiting for your mom to pass.
My dad's also part Asian, and those people live forever. So
those people, Jesus Christ,
they're my people.
They're not your. They're the people of a baby instead. I got swapped out. They're not your people.
We're just talking about DNA confirmation.
I did have a small percentage of Asian in my 23andMe.
So did I. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
as Nika as they fucking come. So, I mean.
Yeah. The point is watch one day at a time.
Yep. I agree with that point.
Can you tell her to watch the Goldbergs, please?
The Goldbergs is funny.
I know it is. I've seen
She's
it.
watched like 3 episodes.
Remember Grace's mom's I Told You So dance?
Yes.
I'm gonna fucking perform the shit out of that to Dave because I've been telling him
Well, you
for
saw him
years.
today and you didn't do it.
I forgot I was hungry. I've been telling him for years.
Shut up, I'm hungry.
Yeah. Pizza.
I'm starving.
Mozzarella sticks.
I've been telling him for years, and he finally caught on, and I was fucking right. So fucking right. So I would encourage. It's not like BK99. This is an.
I've seen
No,
episodes of the
she's seen
Goldbergs. We
two.
started watching it together,
and then she gave up. Yeah. Well,
not that I
again,
gave
life
up.
happened.
We
Life
just
happened.
didn't watch it together anymore, and now he watched it without me, so it's fine.
Got a little chilly.
You know how many shows? I told her we actually came to this. We actually had this conversation maybe 6 months ago. I said, "Look, babe, because we try to watch every show together." And then
Not every show. But
no, we there was a time where that was a there was a time where that was possible for us, and then like finally 6 months ago we stopped watching Blackish because we started watching it together, and then we couldn't because of my job. Fresh Off the Boat, same thing. We watched the first season, and then we were like, love that show, but because of my work schedule, we were never able to sit down together.
There's just too much,
and there's too many shows piling on now, and so finally I was like, look, let's just call it what it is. We're gonna have to watch shows without each other at this point. I mean, it's true, and like, you know, we were both okay with it. But like, we would love to be able to watch every show together, but it's just not possible. Scheduling.
Well, the important thing is that Game of Thrones starts in a couple of weeks, and I know that you'll probably wait till the week before the finale and just watch all of them.
What? He's gonna wait for the finale to fucking happen.
No. I watch all of them.
He watches them all in the week, but like 3 days leading up to it.
To be fair, what I've done in the past, because I was super late to this. I was like 5 seasons late to this. But what I've done in the past is that I waited because I didn't have a HBO Go subscription. So what I would do is wait until the second to last episode would air to then get the free month of because the first month was free of HBO Now. So I would wait for that, and so that I could binge, and then the next week the last episode would air, and then I would do that and then cancel the subscription to only do that.
You're bamboozling the system.
I was bamboozling the system, but now, thanks to a friend, I now have HBO Go, so I don't really need to do that. So I don't know.
I have it too.
I don't know if I'm gonna. So I don't know if I'm gonna wait to. I don't know if I could. You know.
I'm not gonna.
I'm definitely not gonna watch it live because I'm gonna be most chances are I'm gonna be on ships. So
I've always watched it not live, but because HBO is one of the few that like, when it goes live at 9 o'clock, it'll be on. Like even on streaming, it's available for streaming. But I won't watch it live, but I will watch it like the same night just because the internet will ruin whatever happens.
But the internet didn't ruin anything for me 5 seasons later.
Yeah.
And 5 seasons later, I watched it and I was commenting on season 1 of so-and-so,
right?
You know, the first major death. And I was like, oh my. And then people were like, I literally had friends going like, how did you not know this? It's all over the internet. And I was like, no, dude, when you're not interested in something, you just fucking, you just don't see it.
I guess, but like, because I'm interested in it and because like the algorithms being the way they are, like now anything that has Game of Thrones in it pops up.
Yeah, but you're on the inside. You could tell the algorithm fucking just like.
But also,
just put your fingerprint and go.
But to that,
and then the algorithm goes, okay, I'll back off.
I'm refusing to watch any trailers or pay attention to any theories.
But they're popping up on your feed. You're just scrolling.
Like in my feed of my chat with you because you're talking about it and I just scroll past it.
No, but in your regular feed.
No.
That one.
I haven't gotten
in mine now since we've been talking about it for 30 seconds.
No, I haven't gotten a Game of Thrones on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I haven't gotten a Game of Thrones trailer.
I've seen a few.
No, I'm talking about the trailer. Like everybody keeps talking to me about it. Like you guys talked about it. I think did you guys post it? I don't know. On the chat. And then my friend on the ship, Anna, she does a Game of Thrones trivia. She's like, oh my God, in that trailer. I'm like, I didn't see it. She's like, how did you not see it? I'm like, because I just haven't seen it. And she's like, it doesn't. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the show anyway. She's like, no, it gives you like. She was talking about it, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But she couldn't believe that I hadn't seen it, and she lives on a fucking ship, and she's seen the fucking thing. So I can't even. I'm like, I don't. It just hasn't popped up.
Right.
So
well, like to your point, when you're trying to avoid something, if you don't care about it, it doesn't matter. Like I had people when I worked at the insurance company. I was sitting with my friends at lunch, and it was Monday. They were talking about Game of Thrones from the night before, and they stopped their conversation, and they're like, Vanessa, have you seen this? And I was like, no, and I'm not gonna talk about whatever you want. And they had like these conversations and saying names and like spoiling everything, that when I went back and finally did watch it, I was like, I have no idea what those fucking people were saying.
Yeah.
So
I
nothing
also
is
don't
spoiled.
remember anything.
This is also
I don't
true.
remember anything.
But it doesn't matter because Game of Thrones is so fucking convoluted that
Yeah.
even if I was
And the
paying
names are
attention,
so weird.
But I also came into a little bit. I didn't start watching it till the 4th season, so I had to do 4 seasons all together.
I did
and like
5.
I
Missy did
knew
6.
about the Red Wedding because I had 25 dudes
I heard about
sitting in my living room as it was happening, and we were upstairs in our townhouse.
Well,
while all this is going on, and we hear this commotion, and then like my dad had also read the book.
I remember that townhouse.
Yeah.
Remember I went to go pick up the sex toys?
You did
from
come pick up sex
and
toys
that's so
from me.
funny. I went to go pick up sex toys from her, and she kept inviting me, like, you want to hang out because Vanessa was out of town? And I was like, no, like in my mind, I was like, I really want to go use these sex toys right now. Like, just shut the fuck up. She kept inviting me in. I'm like, no.
I had bought something for him.
I was trying to be nice.
No, I know. But in my mind, I was like, how do I say I want to go jerk off? All right, guys. And that was it. That was, again, 5 minutes. You missed 5 minutes of the remaining conversation. But we wanted to let you know to please check out the other amazing podcasts on the Geek Bro Network, such as the Zeros on Hero podcast, the Geekmore podcast, the Pero Let Me Tell You, Comedy Fitness, Mr. Multiverse, Shiver, The Talking Geek, What's Good, and Mommas and Merlot. And also Morbid Curiosity, which is the brand newest one on the team. So make sure you check all those out at geekbro.net. They're all available. If you just go to geekbro.net, you can listen to all of them, and you can listen to all the previous episodes. iTunes, I know, is very limited as far as the last 50, but if you go to geekbro.net, you could each individual page has a player, a media player that you can listen to and find every episode ever aired for each of the podcasts. So make sure you guys check that out. Thank you again for the support. I appreciate that. And find my comedy at narysigns.com or whatwashisname.com. I'm posting up new videos every week, so thank you for checking that out. And check out Stephanie's event coordinating services, Events by You. So that's events _by_you, the letter U, on Instagram, and it's eventsbyu.com. So again, thank you guys for checking us out. We appreciate that, and that's how winning is done. Pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker.